Chapter 2941. Now, the High Priest is speeding up to help the world-defying dragon demon to break the seal. Do you have any countermeasures? Long Tengyun asked. Chen Shang didn't have any countermeasures against this, because right now, his only plan was to step into the world-defying stage first. Although he had already obtained the inheritance of the world-defying stage dragon ancestor, this didn't mean that he could break through it in a short while. Even with the guidance of the world-defying stage dragon ancestor, he would still need a long time to cultivate if he wanted to steadily break through the current realm. The dragon ancestor didn't seem to have said anything about letting me deal with the world-defying dragon demon. Chen Shang thought for a while, and it was true that the world-defying stage dragon ancestor did not say anything. The thing that world-defying stage dragon ancestor warned Chen Shang the most was that when Chen Shang stepped into world-defying stage, he needed to ensure that he was not affected by the power of the evil demons. Otherwise, the condensed world-defying soul would have a demonic and evil nature, and would have a huge impact on him in the future. World-defying stage dragon ancestor specifically reminded him of this. Then after you enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, you must be careful. At this time, there are people from the world-defying stage inside. Long Tengyun was very worried about this. I know, Chen Shang nodded, then chatted with the Flying Dragon Palace leader and the others for a while before leaving in a hurry. Chen Shang had smoothly entered the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. He did not know how many times he had come and gone, but the enchantment of the Myriad Dao Mausoleum was already unable to stop him, so he was able to come and go as he pleased. Every time he entered the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, Chen Shang would always arrive at the colorful forest at the fastest speed possible. This was also the most beautiful place in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. He really liked this place. The territory of Divine Ghost Imperial Country was a sealed but strange gigantic palace. The palace inside was complicated, while the White Bones Imperial was filled with bones, the Flying Dragon Ghost Realm was filled with evil chi, and only the colorful forest had the best environment. There was another reason why Chen Shang came to the colorful forest, and that was to find the alchemist of the Sun World-defying stage that the World-defying stage dragon ancestor had mentioned. Colorful forest was so vast, it was not easy to find a person, not to mention that the person would often appear and disappear like a ghost. Although the colorful forest was beautiful, it was also filled with all kinds of disputes and dangers. Chen Shang had met a relatively gentle pink blood man at this time. He had met one before, and after asking, he found out that the situation in the colorful forest had greatly changed. Divine Ghost Imperial Country, White Bones Imperial and the Flying Dragon Ghost Realm had long set their eyes on the colorful forest, and at this time, they had already secretly sent a large portion of their forces to the colorful forest. Although they had come here to gain experience, everyone knew that these three powers wanted to divide up the colorful forest. For the colorful forest to have so many plants, it showed that the colorful forest itself contained a lot of resources. One must know that there were no Dao crystal mines in the other places, but there were many in colorful forest. The most shocking thing was that more and more blood tribes found Dao crystal mines in there, thus attracting the other three forces to come and occupy this place. There were also powerful forces in the colorful forest, but they could not defeat the other three powers. The main reason was that the three powers all had powerful warriors from the world-defying stage, and they did not have any of them, so they could only swallow their anger. The colorful forest was ruled by the four races in the first place. They oppressed and enslaved the other races before this, and now that something like this happened, they do not deserve to be pitied at all. Chen Shang thought in his heart. He also found a piece of news that wasn't very good for him. It was the Natural Law Divine Lord that was staying in the White Bones Imperial. The Natural Law Divine Lord was currently the second in command of the White Bones Imperial, standing equal to the Bone Emperor of the White Bones Imperial. This bastard, what is the point of relying on someone else's incomplete world-defying soul to break through? Chen Shang wanted to cultivate his own world-defying soul after all. Once he cultivated it, he would have the confidence to defeat this kind of world-defying stage. I heard that there's a very large Dao crystal mine nearby, I'll go take a look. The pink blood man that Chen Shang had met before knew a lot of things, and he had even told Chen Shang that low-level bloodthirsty people like them were often caught and used as slaves to extract Dao crystals. Although Chen Shang already had more than 1 billion Dao crystal, he would never think that there were too many of them. Especially after knowing that the had occupied the entire mine, he wanted to loot everything. The Flying Dragon Ghost Realm was now the ruler of the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable, and the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable was under the Dragon Demon's command, so they had to listen to the orders of the High Priest. Because they were loyal to the world-defying dragon demon, the dragon devil Emperor Venerable had obtained half of the crippled world-defying soul and stepped into the world-defying stage. The reason why they wanted Tao Crystal was to search for the secret inheritance array. Chen Shang decided to ask the other demons what kind of inheritance they wanted to obtain the next time they meet the half-ghost old man. After half a day, Chen Shang arrived at the vicinity of the mine. There were people from the flying dragon ghost realm patrolling. He released the heaven-devouring rat to investigate, and discovered that there were 10 venerable ancestor later stage S. 100 of them were in the middle to late stages of the venerable ancestor realm, and there were more than 1,000 of them in the other Tai Zun realm. This was a very powerful force. The fact that the flying dragon ghost realm used such a powerful force to guard this mine showed how many Tao crystal were inside. When Chen Shang got closer, he could feel that the Tao crystal's aura was extremely rich. I have to plunder this place properly, otherwise, it would be too disrespectful to my mouse man. Chen Shang remembered that he still had a few thousand strong heaven-devouring rat, and he couldn't help but to be happy. He didn't need to do anything, as long as he could control the heaven-devouring rat and bring it into the mines. He had accumulated for many years, and he had a large amount of storage tools. He let the heaven-devouring rat swallow those storage magic treasure and then controlled them to enter the mine. A large number of heaven-devouring rat had entered from the bottom, so even if there were many people patrolling above, they would not be able to discover the heaven-devouring rat below. Now that I have obtained these Tao crystal, it's as simple as cutting grass. Chen Shang hid in a big tree's hole, controlling the heaven-devouring rat to continuously devour them. When heaven-devouring rat swallowed the Tao crystal, it was equivalent to having storage magic treasure S placed in his stomach. Once the heaven-devouring rat S were full, he would immediately use the power of space to replace the storage magic treasure S. Heaven-devouring rat S were all around the early stage of the venerable ancestor realm, and there were a few thousand of them, which were extremely powerful. This was equivalent to several thousands of venerable ancestor realms miners, and they could dig up the Tao crystal S buried deep underground day and night without stopping. There are so many Tao crystal down there, I wonder how long we'll have to dig them out for. Chen Shang estimated that there were at least 1 trillion Tao crystal in this mountain. A month later, the earth suddenly shook, followed by a series of rumbling sounds. A large mountain in the distance suddenly sank down. The main reason was that Chen Shang had dug up all of the Tao crystal below the mountain. Although there were still some remaining, they were still more than 1 trillion, while Chen Shang had dug up a total of 15 trillion. Chapter 2942. When heaven-devouring rat were digging underground, they would become as big as hippopotamus and had a big mouth like hippopotamus. Thousands of these big-mouth heaven-devouring rats swallowed up all the Tao crystal in a short month. The updates were quick. It's time to stop. Chen Shang chuckled. He had originally planned to use the power of space to teleport the heaven-devouring rat back. But when he thought about how these rats had worked so hard for so long without getting anything, he set his gaze on the draconians guarding the mine. These dragon demons were all under the flying dragon ghost realm, and the strongest one among them was only the venerable ancestor realm. With how many heaven-devouring rat-s Chen Shang had, dealing with these dragon demons was basically not a problem, let alone those little dragon demons that only had Tai Zun realm S, it was basically going to happen one at a time. The mountains sank down one after another, shocking the dragon demons who were guarding this area. They immediately went to investigate and found that these mountains were hollowed out. Someone was actually secretly digging their mines. The dragon demons were instantly enraged, and they all rushed over. However, just as they were gathering here, many black shadows suddenly rushed up. They were all huge hairy mice. They all opened their mouths wide and looked at them. Over 5,000 rats were like locusts that surrounded the 1,000 draconic demons, releasing their formidable power and constantly biting and devouring them. In the blink of an eye, all of the dragon demons from the Tai Zun realm were swallowed. Although the dragon demons from the Venerable Ancestor realm could temporarily defend, this was just a meaningless struggle, they were already completely surrounded by the heaven-devouring rat. What exactly is this thing? A powerful dragon demon shouted in fear. Originally, they, dragon demons, were already feared by many, but now, there was actually something that frightened them. Before they could get any response, the suddenly small heaven-devouring rat had already drilled into their bodies, eating them all in an instant. These dragon demons are really good fodder. Chen Shang retrieved all the heaven-devouring rat-s. Heaven-devouring rat could eat anything, what's more, they had the strong power of the dragon demon on them, so he was not afraid of not being able to digest the dragon demon. Demonic dragons were created by the power of world-defying dragon demon, and when heaven-devouring rat ate this type of demonic dragon, it would only become stronger and stronger. At that time, everyone in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum knew about it, and they were extremely envious of it. But now that the mine was dug up, all the dragon demons guarding the mine had all died. This matter was known to the entire colorful forest in just a few short days. At this time, the other dragon demons in the colorful forest immediately rushed over to investigate this matter. At this time, Chen Shang was wandering in the colorful forest, searching for the mysterious world-defying stage. Let alone being alone, even if they were in a group, as long as they met Chen Shang, they would be eaten by Chen Zhang's heaven-devouring rat. Looks like I have to restrain myself a little. It would not be good if I can get this Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable fellow. Chen Shang didn't want to face the world-defying stage right now. Although it was a half-baked world-defying stage, it was still very strong. When Chen Shang was searching for the alchemist, he originally did not have a clue, but he had coincidentally heard it from an old pink-blood man. Even though the alchemist appeared and disappeared mysteriously, he had left a secret mark on the tree trunk of the forest. This guy is so bored. Chen Shang released the heaven-devouring rat and allowed it to take human form. He looked around at the branches of the colorful forest to see if there were any hidden secrets. A few days later, he did not find any hidden secrets, but he did find a few familiar faces. I remember that they are all from the Dragon Ancestor's mysterious land. Chen Shang saw that the three middle-aged men were all from Dragon Ancestor's mysterious land with decent strength, all of them were Venerable Ancestor later stage S. Why are they here? Chen Shang immediately took back the heaven-devouring rat, and then teleported near the location of the three people. At this moment, they were talking. One of the gray-robed middle-aged man said, "Our mission this time is to gather evil spirit A, but how do we get it faster?" Quote, "The fastest way to gather evil energy is to kill those who are already demons, and then step into the path of evil, and then do some things specifically for evil, then you can gather a lot of evil energy." Another blue-robed middle-aged man said, "I heard that there are many pure-blooded people in colorful forest, and a lot of them are just slaves. Why don't we go slaughter them, then we can gather some evil energy and hand it over to the high priest." The middle-aged man in gray said with a smile, "All right, we were always being watched by this old rogue, Long Tenyan, so we wanted to do this a long time ago. Let's go." The blue-clothed middle-aged man laughed. Just as he was about to set off, he suddenly saw a white shadow float past him. All of a sudden, they were on alert. They took out their swords and sabers, ready to fight. With a flash of white, he suddenly appeared in front of them. When they saw this person, they were stunned. Standing in front of them was a white-clothed elderly man, who had a smile on his face. It was actually Long Tenyan. Of course, this was not Long Tenyan herself, but Chen Zhang's transformation. "The three of you still remember me, it's really my honor." Chen Shang chuckled. He had changed into Long Tenyan's appearance just to catch these three people. "Dragon A, Long Tenyan, don't think that we are afraid of you, you are just a piece of trash." After the middle-aged man in gray finished speaking, he suddenly remembered the white figure that they had seen earlier. The figure was extremely fast and had no aura. It had quietly appeared in front of them. No matter how he looked at it, it did not seem like his cultivation had been crippled. "Oh, is that so? If I were a trash, would you dare to let me hit you?" Chen Shang giggled. He did not care about whether the other party agreed or not, and teleported in front of the other party, as he waved his hand and slapped the middle-aged man's face. Pa! With a crisp sound, the middle-aged man's face was slapped on the face by Chen Shang. After a thunderous sound, the face exploded and disappeared. As for the body, it was lying unharmed on the ground. Its head had actually been smashed into thin air by the other party's palm. The other two middle-aged men trembled in fear. They knew how strong the gray-robed man who had been killed was. He had the same strength as them. Even the Long Tenyan back then did not dare to provoke them, but now, Long Tenyan had killed one with a single slap. You are not Long Tenyan, just who are you?" The blue-clothed middle-aged man swallowed his saliva, looked at Chen Shang and roared, "The high priest behind us is from the world-defying stage, he's right here. I am Long Tenyan, I have obtained the inheritance of the Dragon Ancestor, I am now also the world-defying stages." Chen Shang said as he walked over and killed the middle-aged man in black as easily as killing a mosquito. He was sure that the person in front of him was world-defying stage. He felt that no matter how large the gap between them was, it was only possible for him to be casually killed by someone with a single slap. Chapter 2943. If one had not gone to the Flying Dragon experience place to cultivate the Venerable Ancestor later stage, the disparity between them would be extremely obvious. Especially when compared to someone like Chen Shang who had gone to the 10th Flying Dragon experience place, he appeared to be even weaker. Previously, Flying Dragon Palace leader was much stronger than the leader because he could go to the 8th Flying Dragon experience place. But now, the Venerable Ancestor later stages dragon demons had also reached a bottleneck, and the High Priest was no longer able to help them increase their strength, so he could only send them to the Flying Dragon experience place. As a result, the Dragon Ancestor's mysterious land above the 8th Flying Dragon experience place was taken over by the High Priest. What worries Chen Shang is that the High Priest might have a way to help the dragon demons cultivate faster in the Flying Dragon experience place and produce many strong Venerable Ancestor later stage dragon demons. This is extremely disadvantageous for them. Quote, "You can't be Long Tengyun. Long Tengyun has already been crippled. I saw it with my own eyes. It can't be wrong. You can't recover so fast." Even though that was what the blue-clothed middle-aged man said, he had already believed it in his heart. Before this, he also knew that Long Tengyun had entered the Dragon Ancestor's forbidden grounds before. Believe it or not, but you're really useless, going in to be the High Priest's lackey. As Chen Shang spoke, he released a spatial lock, preventing the blue-clothed middle-aged man from moving at all. Then, he placed his palm on the head and used the soul-absorbing devil spell. Chen Shang did not successfully search through the blue-clothed middle-aged man's memories, and was protected by a wave of energy. However, he still forced himself to search, wanting to break through that protective force. He didn't expect that the middle-aged man's soul would be severely injured, so he was now in a crazed state. Looks like these fellows are completely under the High Priest's control. What a pity. Chen Shang released his heaven-devouring rat and ate all the people from Dragon Ancestor's mysterious land. After Chen Shang settled this matter, he continued to search for the imprint left behind by the mysterious alchemist. Previously, he used a large number of heaven-devouring rat but he did not manage to find it, so he guessed that it was not because the imprint was not nearby, but because those imprints might need a special method to see it. In the next few days, he used the Dao Hard Eye to look at the big trees inside. He felt that he could use this method to see that kind of imprint. His guess was not wrong. As expected, he saw the imprints when he used the Dao Hard Eye, and the imprints were not on the outside of the tree, but on the inside. If he used his mind to sense them, he would be able to sense them, but he used the Dao Hard Eye to detect them faster, and he could see them clearly. He immediately walked in that direction, and quickly found another imprint. Just like this, he followed the direction of the imprints, and in about 2 days, he arrived at a place at the edge of colorful forest, where there were fewer flowers, plants, and trees, and a large piece of barren land. Is that master in such a remote place like colorful forest? There's so little life here. When Chen Shang arrived, he did not find any other imprints. Instead, he saw something in the middle of the wasteland that looked like a protrusion. He walked over to take a look, and a bald youth suddenly appeared. He cried out in fear and almost attacked. "Big brother, stop!" the bald man shouted, "I won't attack you." Chen Shang took a small breath and asked, "Who are you? Why are you hiding here?" Quote, "I'm a guide boy," the bald youth shouted, "Are you looking for our master?" Chen Shang nodded. The master that the bald youth was talking about should be the alchemist from World Defying stage. "I want to see him. Quick, take me there," Chen Shang said. He was truly happy to have such an alchemist here. The bald youth came out from the ground and patted off the sand on his body. "It's not that easy to see him. However, if you really want to see him, you can do it for me." The bald youth pointed at the hole in the ground and said with a smile, "Every year, there will be many people looking for our master. If everyone wants to see him, wouldn't he be very busy?" Did a lot of people come here? Chen Shang didn't expect that. In his opinion, there weren't many normal people in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum and someone would actually come here to find the alchemist. Basically, there are around 10 every month. There are still a lot of people in Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Don't look down on Myriad Dao Mausoleum. The bald youth chuckled, "Big brother, you first." Chen Shang looked at the hole and did not have the desire to go down. However, in order to meet that master, he could only obediently go down and take a look. After he went down, he immediately felt a suction force. Then, he naturally slid down to a bright hall. What surprised him was that there were quite a few people in this hall. These people were all sitting cross-legged on the ground. In front of them were pill furnaces. They were actually concocting pills. Chen Shang immediately guessed that these people were the disciples of the master, but from the words of the bald youth, he knew that his guess was wrong. They are all here to see the master. They are all trying their best to get the qualification to see the master. The bald youth laughed. If you want to meet the master, you have to be like him. Like them. What are they doing? Chen Shang knew that these people were concocting pills, but why did he need to concoct pills to be able to see the master? Big brother, you don't know. I'll have a word with you right now. The bald youth then began to talk about the rules. Very quickly, Chen Shang understood everything. In order to meet the great master, he needed to complete the mission given by the great master. For example, these people were all concocting a type of pill. And this kind of pill was extremely difficult to concoct. As long as the pill was concocted, they would be able to meet the master. Moreover, if one wanted to participate in this kind of mission, the first step was to hand over 5 trillion Dao crystal for a spot. Although it was worth 5 trillion, the Dao crystal would not waste time on words. The bald youth told Chen Shang that every year, the master would issue a new pill formula, and the master would provide enough medicinal ingredients as well as the trick to concoct the pill. Therefore, this 5 trillion was equivalent to tuition fees. As long as one paid 5 trillion, even if one was unable to meet the master, one would still be able to learn many alchemy techniques here. With 5 trillion, I can study here for the rest of my life. Chen Shang felt that this was still quite a good deal. Of course not, 5 trillion is only 5 years. However, if you study seriously here for 5 years, your alchemy standard will definitely improve by a lot. The bald youth laughed. If you don't know how to refine pills, you can hand over 3 trillion Dao crystal first. We will have someone to teach you how to refine pills. Chen Shang suddenly felt that this was a place for learning pill refining. It sounded good, but he felt that it was kind of deceitful. Chapter 2944. Chen Shang was considering whether he should join. He counted the people here. There were a total of 500 people. That was considered more, and all of them knew how to refine pills. In Myriad Dao Mausoleum, it was truly not easy. What kind of pills do you usually learn to refine? Chen Shang asked. If learning a few is of no use, won't we lose out? It won't be a loss. The pill formulas that our masters released were all useful to many people. For example, this year's pill formulas are called Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. The bald youth said, do you know what this pill is used for? Chen Shang thought for a moment, and hearing the name was indeed hard to think of. He shook his head. I don't know, what's the use of it? Eating this pill will allow you to directly ingest a large amount of Myriad Dao's power to cultivate the powerful Myriad Dao's golden body. This is one of the ways to unleash the potential of the Venerable Ancestor later stage. If you are from Flying Dragon Pagoda, you must know that there is a method that can help you achieve your goals in cultivation in Flying Dragon Pagoda. Although the bald youth looked like a youth, he knew quite a few things. Cultivate on the Flying Dragon Experience Place. Chen Shang said. Not long ago, he was in the Flying Dragon Experience Place, and had to go through a lot of pain to be able to reach the peak of the Venerable Ancestor later stage. Even if you do not head to Flying Dragon Experience Place, you will be able to achieve the same result after eating the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, and the results will be even faster. The bald youth arrogantly said, this is the power of our Myriad Dao Dan God. Only he can create such a pill formula. That master is called Myriad Dao Dan God. This was the first time Chen Shang had heard of this name. It sounded like it had something to do with the world-defying stage Dao ancestor. Yes, are you interested now? Hurry up and join us. The bald youth raised his eyebrows and winked at Chen Shang. Chen Shang felt that in the eyes of the bald youth, he was just like a fish in water that was easy to scam. There's another benefit. If you can learn how to refine a type of pill, you will receive the reward of 500 billion Dao crystal. The bald youth said. Can you reduce it? Chen Shang asked. I don't have enough Dao crystal. If he really could get a few good pill formulas, Chen Shang felt that it wouldn't be a big deal to get Dao crystal S. After all, the other party had provided him with the medicinal ingredients. How many Dao crystal do you have? The bald youth saw that Chen Shang had his own way of thinking and thought that he could make way, so he asked. 3 trillion, Chen Shang said. This is too little. The bald youth frowned. Are you really that few? Chen Shang was currently a simple and honest middle-aged man. He scratched his head, then nodded. I was originally looking for a secret inheritance array, then heard that there was a master here, so I came here to look for him. The inheritance secret array required 3 trillion Tao crystal to activate, which was something many people knew. The majority of them had accumulated 3 trillion Tao crystal and went to search for the inheritance secret array. Fine, 3 trillion is 3 trillion. You can study here for 5 years. We will provide you with medicine. The bald youth sighed, then nodded and agreed. Chen Shang knew that it had a price to it, so he looked down on the bald youth and purposely made himself look like a teenager so that he could lower the guard towards him and make it easier for him to trick others. Following that, the bald youth and Chen Shang even signed a contract, which made Chen Shang feel a lot more at ease. Just call me Little Light in the future, I'm responsible for everything here. Little Light said with a smile, if you encounter any danger, you can also hide here. We will definitely protect you. Chen Shang was very curious about the place, but it seemed like there was a very strong force here. Even though the Xiaoguang in front of him looked like a teenager, Chen Shang did not know his cultivation, so he was not weak. Can I start to learn that Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan now? Chen Shang asked. He felt that this pill was more useful to him, because it could absorb the myriad Tao's power. After stepping into the world-defying stage, he would need to cultivate the world-defying soul in the primordial body, and he would need to absorb a large amount of myriad Tao's power, so this kind of Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan would definitely be of great help to him. Of course, he then took out a jade chip for Chen Shang and said, there is information about the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan in there. Take a good look at it first. Chen Shang sent his consciousness in, and very quickly, he had a very clear understanding of the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan is an arrogant profound core. Amongst the prideful stage of the pellet, there were 3 more commonly seen. The first was the prideful profound pellet, the second was the world-defying holy Dan, and the third was the prideful divine pellet. This was Chen Zhang's first time hearing of such a thing. Of course, he knew that these pills were not easy to refine, and the ingredients needed must also be very special. Very quickly, Little Light arrived. He passed Chen Shang a jade box and said, there are ingredients for refining Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan inside. Oh right, I forgot to tell you, this Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan is this year's main topic. If you can refine it, you will receive the reward of 1 trillion Tao crystal. Quote. Previously, when he learned to refine a type of pill, he would obtain the Tao crystal's reward. At that time, Chen Shang had doubts, but he did not ask about it. Can anyone learn it? Aren't you afraid of losing money? There are hundreds of alchemists here, if you were to learn all of them, then you would need to give me hundreds of billions of Tao crystal. Chen Shang said. At this time, he and Little Light were in a quiet stone room, and outside the room was the Great Hall. A large number of alchemists were there seriously refining pills. Little Light laughed, it's not so easy to learn myriad Tao Dan God's pill formulas, so we're not afraid of that happening. In fact, the prize money we give out each year is only 1 or 2 trillion. Quote. Chen Shang curled his lips, so that's how it is, your myriad Tao Dan God's pellets are really hard to learn. Little Light patted Chen Zhang's shoulder and said, your bones are extraordinary, and there's a master's demeanor between your eyebrows. You will definitely learn it, do not be discouraged. Furthermore, learning how to refine pills wasn't something that could be accomplished in a day or a night. Especially Apothecary Mu, it was much more difficult. If you are unable to learn it within 5 years, it will take 10 years or even 100 years. Our proud Pill Academy will welcome you at any time. Chen Shang had already known that this was a big trap. How could learning to refine the everlasting pellet be that easy? Thank you for your guidance. Chen Shang hurriedly nodded. He felt that he could receive the 3 trillion Tao crystal rewards within 5 years. There are 10 portions of medicinal herbs. Try to see if you can refine them yourself first. We will provide 10 portions of medicinal herbs to you free of charge. If you want more, you will need to buy more. Not expensive, just 10 billion. Yes. Chen Shang had known that there would be such a trap, and it was completely within his expectations. He only nodded his head. Chapter 2945. Little Light saw that Chen Shang had no objections and was very happy in his heart. It was as if he was looking at Chen Shang sending a large amount of Tao crystal to him non-stop in the future. Chen Shang had his own secret room here, he could also go to the main hall to refine pills with everyone. Chen Shang liked him to be alone, so he chose to refine in the secret room here. When he arrived inside the secret room, he found out that the several hundred alchemists in the hall were only the tip of the iceberg. And there were also many alchemists in the group of secret rooms here who came to learn from here. Why are there so many good alchemists in this myriad Dao mausoleum? Chen Shang was very surprised. When he was in the Flying Dragon Pagoda, he did not encounter many outstanding alchemists. However, this prideful pill academy actually had a few thousand students. Next time when we go out, ask Little Light. Chen Shang needed to hurry up and concoct the pills. His goal was to enter the world-defying stage and try his best to prevent the High Priest from helping the world-defying dragon demon to break the seal. Unparalleled mysterious pill A. I wonder if it can be of any help to me. Chen Shang already had the means to step into the world-defying stage and he knew how to cultivate it, but it was still rather difficult. For example, cultivating the world-defying soul in the primordial body required a large amount of myriad Dao's power to support it. Even if he was to madly absorb the energy from the 10th Flying Dragon experience place, it would be difficult to achieve such a thing in a short period of time. I wonder if there are any Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan that can be bought already. Chen Shang thought about it as he left the secret room to look for Xiao Guang. After Xiao Guang finished receiving Chen Shang, he went back to busy himself with other matters. When Chen Shang came out of the secret room, he could not find. This damned Baldy, once you've earned my Dao crystal, I will not care about it anymore. Chen Shang cursed a few times in his heart, and then, he asked around and found out that there was a place that specialized in selling medicinal pellets. There was a very big underground palace here. Chen Shang was looking at a map on a very wide corridor, and soon found the location of the medicinal pills being sold. He arrived after walking for a short while. The Aodan pavilion was quite lively. When Chen Shang arrived at the entrance, a few people walked out. It's hard to imagine that there's such an underground city under the colorful forest. Chen Shang suddenly felt that this pill academy was a small city. Myriad Dao Dan God would definitely be rich, harvesting a large amount of Dao crystal every second. Chen Shang thought so. After he entered the Allan pavilion, a tall and pretty lady hastily came over with a smile on her face. With a sweet voice, she asked, "Brother, do you need to buy any pills? Do you have any Heaven and Earth Infinite Danes to sell?" Chen Shang asked. "Yes, please follow me." Then, she anxiously invited Chen Shang to a counter. "We can buy it here." Chen Shang came to the counter and an old man smiled at Chen Shang as if he was looking at a fat sheep. He said, "Brother, buy a Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, right?" "Yes, how much?" Chen Shang had already secretly guessed the price. 1 trillion Dao crystal pills. The old man said. Even though Chen Shang was mentally prepared, he still wanted to curse at others. This was way higher than he had imagined, for he thought he would only need 100 billion Dao crystals per pellet. "Can you reduce it?" Chen Shang asked. "That's already quite a bit. If you can refine it, then sell it to me. 95 million Dao crystal will take it from you." The old man said, "This pill is very expensive and very difficult to refine. So far, there have only been 3 students who have successfully refined it. They have all obtained a reward of 1 trillion yuan. Chen Shang was more surprised that there was actually someone who could refine it. Right now, he only wanted to know the effects of these pills, and concocting them himself was still rather difficult. If it did not have any effect on him, he would choose another type of pill and would not waste too much time on these Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. "Alright, I'll buy it." Chen Shang took out 1 trillion Dao crystal to buy it. He knew that this was only a temporary loss, and he would definitely earn it back in the future. After buying it, he returned to his secret room and ate it. Is it really useful? After consuming it, Chen Shang immediately activated the Myriad Dao Divine Arts. At this time, he had a new understanding of the Myriad Dao Divine Arts, and if the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan is useful, he could try the Myriad Dao Divine Arts as well. Although it was his first time coming into contact with a Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, he knew that the quality of the pellet was not bad. After he ate it, he immediately felt a very strange burst of Myriad Dao power. After the power from Myriad Dao surged out, it also produced a strange power, allowing him to absorb the surrounding Dao energy and convert it into the power of Myriad Dao. At this moment, he felt that the rate at which he was absorbing the Myriad Dao's power was multiple times faster than when he was at the 10th stage. As he operated the Myriad Dao's sacred art, the surge of Myriad Dao's power was quickly refined by him and continued to strengthen his 6 souls in the Myriad Dao's body. This pill could help him obtain a large amount of Myriad Dao's power, but the power of Myriad Dao was not enough to help him break through to world-defying stage. Furthermore, it did not last for a long time with only 20 hours. It's not bad. If I were to use the crash method to refine more, after the quality increases, the effects would become even stronger. Chen Shang took a deep breath. As expected of the primordial pellet, it helped me to step into the world-defying stage. After Chen Shang determined the effects of the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, he decided that he would need to learn how to refine this pill. Whether it was for sale or to raise his own cultivation, it would be of great use to him. He was sure that it would be difficult to refine. After all, this was a pretty good pill. I have to say, this myriad Dao Dan God really has some skills. Before, Chen Shang wanted to find the myriad Dao Dan God to see if there were any good pill formulas in there. Even though he hadn't seen the myriad Dao Dan God yet, he had gotten such a good pill formula. Chen Shang planned to refine a little more and then find the time ghost to eat. That way, he would be able to save a lot of time. Following that, he began to attempt refining. Initially, he used the most conservative method, but it was to no avail. The main reason was that the ingredients were difficult to refine. Then, he used the world-defying God fire to burn them for an entire day and night, but there was no reaction at all. Just like that, after playing with it for 3 days, that batch of medicinal ingredients entered and mysteriously died. Damn it, the recipe never said something like this would happen, it only said that the ingredient was stubborn and would need to be burned for a long time. Once the ingredient softens, the fire will increase and the ingredient will be burned. Chen Shang silently cursed a few times. He guessed that it was because he had used the world-defying God fire to burn himself that such a situation had occurred. Chapter 2946. Although the jade slip that Xiao Guang gave him had detailed information about Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan S., Chen Shang felt that he did not have enough knowledge about the refining process of Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan S. Helpless, he could only leave the secret room. He had to ask the experienced alchemist S. If he tried to find things by himself, he would only waste medicinal herbs. Now that the medicinal herbs had not been planted yet, if there were no more, he would have to use a lot of Dao Crystal S to buy them. Chen Shang came to the main hall outside and looked at the hundreds of alchemists S who were concocting pills. There were males, females, old and young, and he did not know their standards, but they all looked pretty good, and their standards of using flames were very high. He suddenly saw an old man packing the pill furnace. It should be time for him to rest. His eyes lit up and he waited for the old man to leave the hall. The old man wore a gray robe, and even though his hair was completely white, his skin was extremely white like an infant's. It could be seen that he had put a lot of effort into his appearance, and his cultivation was quite good as well. From the old man's appearance, Chen Shang felt that he looked very good, so Chen Shang waited for him to leave the hall and quickly followed. The old man was about to return to his secret chamber, so he was walking in a tunnel. After Chen Shang caught up, he immediately shouted, "Senior." When the old man heard someone shouting, he turned his head to take a look. After he saw Chen Shang, he quickly sized him up, then revealed a kind smile. "Kid, is there something wrong?" "Senior, Junior Chen Shang has just arrived at this place and is currently learning how to refine Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan S, but I am completely clueless about this pill's refining process and I am unable to find that fellow, Little Light, so I would like to ask Senior for some guidance," Chen Shang said very respectfully. The old man shook his head and sighed. "I haven't been able to refine it, but I can tell you about it, eh?" After that, the old man invited Chen Shang to his private room and slowly explained the difficulties in refining the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan to Chen Shang. Chen Shang memorized all of this. The old man's name was Ding Yu Chen. It had been 4 years since he came here, and he still hadn't learned how to refine a pill. This was mainly due to the difficulty of the pill. Is it all self-taught here? Chen Shang was a little angry. They had handed over many Dao crystal to learn concocting pills. Almost like self-study after all, even if someone were to teach us this pill, it would still be difficult to learn it. If they can concoct the pellet that the myriad Dao Dan God created, that would be a huge profit. Ding Yu Chen said. "I heard that there are people who can learn it. Who are those guys?" Chen Shang was very curious about this. He also wanted to meet these people. "I don't know. I've seen one before, a young man who looked very young, but was extremely arrogant. Some old people who wanted to ask him about it were ridiculed and even insulted in front of the crowd." Ding Yu Chen shook his head and sighed. Everyone with some ability is like that here. Therefore, when Ding Yu Chen saw that Chen Zhang's attitude was so good and respectful, he started to chat with Chen Shang. He liked young people like Chen Shang more. Ding Yu Chen had concocted pills continuously for 2 months, and he was currently rather tired, so Chen Shang left in a hurry, telling him to rest well. He returned to his secret room and took out the medicinal ingredients needed to refine Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. So, Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan needs to be burnt for a very long time. Just now, Chen Shang had heard from Ding Yu Chen that it would usually take about a month before it would have any effect. But, this was simply too long for Chen Shang. He felt that even if he had to buy time from the time ghost, it would still be too long before he would stop. When I sent the world-defying god fire to burn, I directly burned the medicinal ingredients to death. What happened? Previously, Chen Shang had asked Ding Yu Chen if there would be any deaths of medicinal ingredients. Ding Yu Chen told him that no such thing had happened. In other words, when using world-defying god fire to refine Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, it could be faster. World-defying god fire can definitely add time to concoct pills, it's just that there are some problems that need to be solved. Chen Shang took out the medicinal ingredients and refined them again. He had to find the problem and solve it. Soon, he wasted 7 batches of medicinal materials. Luckily, he found the root of the problem, so it wasn't considered a loss. So that's how it is. I understand now. Chen Shang already understood why the world-defying god fire would burn the medicinal herbs to death. The main reason was that the world-defying god fire's firepower was too strong and strong. Furthermore, the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan's medicinal herbs and the primordial divine flame are at odds with each other, especially their source energy, which is even more fragile. The world-defying god fire can directly exterminate the source energy within, causing the medicinal herbs to become dead medicinal herbs. As long as I find a suitable place to combine my primordial divine flame and my medicinal herbs, I can use my flames to quickly refine Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. After thinking about it for a while, Chen Shang decided that when releasing the flames, he would not add the heavenly flame but directly use the world-defying god fire to refine it. He tried it once, but it did not succeed. The situation was the same as before, which meant that it had nothing to do with the heavenly refining flame. Seems like I can only try the blood refinement method. Chen Shang planned to release blood and merge it with the world-defying god fire, and at the same time refine the blood into the medicinal ingredients. This was what he had done to the medicinal herbs that were highly resistant to him in the past. Chen Shang only had 2 sets of medicinal ingredients left. If he failed, he would have to buy them. It will definitely work. Chen Shang took out the herbs and used the blood refining method to refine them. In merely 3 days of time, he had successfully used the world-defying god fire to burn those medicinal herbs and turned them into tiny medicine crystal. As long as he mixed these medicine crystal together, he could successfully refine a Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. I finally succeeded. Chen Shang wiped his sweat. He felt that at this point, he was not far from success anymore. Very quickly, he gathered the medicine crystal into a group and then entered the final stage of core condensation. He estimated that the group of medicine crystal was split into 3 parts and then started to condense the core. To be able to refine 3 medicinal herbs in a single serving, that's not bad at all. Chen Shang looked at the 3 Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan as if he was looking at the 3 trillion Tao Crystal S. He had previously spent 1 trillion just to buy a Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. Back then, he had felt that it was very expensive, but now, he felt that selling it for this much was also good, because at that time, he would be able to make a huge profit by selling this kind of pill. Bastard, you stole so many of my Tao Crystal, I'm going to earn them back soon. Chen Shang couldn't help but smile, then concentrate on condensing the core. The process of condensing the pellet was not easy, and was much more difficult than Chen Shang had expected. It also took a long time, and a total of 5 days. Fortunately, everything went smoothly, and in the end, he managed to condense 3 pellets of extremely high-quality Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. Chapter 2947. Chen Zhang's refining technique could only be done by himself, so even if he told others how to refine it, no one else would know, but he could provide some ideas to others. I've finally succeeded. I'll take one and take a look. After Chen Shang ate a golden Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, he had a look of enjoyment. After all, he refined it himself, so it tasted better. Very quickly, just like the last time when he ate the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, he felt a very strong burst of myriad Tao energy exploding inside his body, quickly merging into his body and even helping him to absorb the outside Tao energy and convert it into myriad Tao power. Quote, after refining this pellet, Chen Shang opened his eyes and said with a grin, it's done. Because the quality is high, it's a lot better than the pellet I bought last time. Chen Shang planned to sell the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan in his hands right now. This could be exchanged for about 2 trillion Tao crystal. The one before, if you could learn how to refine a type of pill, you would be rewarded with 1 trillion Tao crystal. The tuition fee he taught previously was 3 trillion Tao crystal, and he felt that it would return to him very soon. Go find that bastard Little Light. Chen Shang excitedly left the secret room and went to the Great Hall to wait for Little Light. Previously, Ding Yu Chen said that Little Light would appear in the Great Hall from time to time. Chen Shang stood at the entrance of the tunnel and looked at the people inside the hall who were refining pills. Ding Yu Chen was also refining pills. Just like this, Chen Shang waited for 2 days, but did not see Little Light. Chen Shang suddenly sensed that there were people approaching from behind. He was not Xiao Guang, because Xiao Guang did not have any qi, and the man behind did not hide his qi at all. This person's aura was extremely arrogant. Chen Shang didn't even need to turn his head to know that this person was one of those arrogant fellows. He didn't plan to turn around to look either, but who would have thought that when this person walked over quickly, he would actually hit his shoulder fiercely, directly sending him flying a few steps. Moreover, it even caused Chen Shang to feel pain in his shoulder. "What are you doing?" Chen Shang was enraged, and said coldly. "HMPH, you deserve to be hit by me while standing here." The man looked up and down at Chen Shang, his expression extremely arrogant, and his tone extremely arrogant. "Are you not convinced? I'll hit you if I hit you, what's wrong?" Quote. This person was a young man wearing a set of purple clothes. Although his appearance wasn't bad, his currently arrogant face made people feel that he was ugly. "Why did you hit me? This road is so big, and I'm standing against the wall, it can't stop you." Chen Shang clenched his fists tightly, the tone was filled with anger. Even if the other party was a world-defying stage, he would not be afraid. "Yo, you actually still have a temper. Do you know who I am? You actually dare to yell at me, go and find out who I am." The purple-clothed man laughed and mocked a few times, looking at Chen Shang with disdain. Just as Chen Shang wanted to speak, Ding Yu Chen, who was concocting pills at this moment, hurried over and sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang at the same time. "Chen Shang, this guy is one of the 3 who was able to concoct Heaven and Earth Infinite Dance. Don't provoke him, he has quite a lot of power here, and many people would stand on his side to curry favor with him." "Forget it, it's just a misunderstanding." Ding Yu Chen immediately pulled Chen Shang. Ding Yu Chen and the purple-clothed man thought that Chen Shang would make the deal, but Chen Zhang's body suddenly moved. He instantly appeared in front of the purple-clothed man, and chopped down at his shoulder with a hand blade. Gotcha! He only saw the purple-clothed man's arm suddenly shake. He had already been dislocated by Chen Shang, and the purple-clothed man also cried out in pain. "You deliberately bumped into me. I'll call back. We owe each other nothing." Chen Shang was not afraid of this fellow. If he were to be investigated, he would just teleport away. "How dare you hit me, you eh?" The purple-clothed man was furious, his face had already been distorted by anger. The pill refiners woke up one by one. They all knew about what had just happened. The purple-robed man was extremely famous here. Although he was arrogant, no one dared to do anything to him. Many people had to treat him with respect. But now, he was actually beaten up by someone. Seeing the purple-clothed man's angry face, Chen Shang could not hold back and uncontrollably waved his hand towards him. Pow! Chen Shang slapped the purple-clothed man hard once again, sending him flying with quite a bit of force. "Once you refine the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, you can act arrogant, right? I can also refine it too, so if I can be arrogant too, I'll slap your face, what's wrong? If you have the guts, come and fight back." Chen Shang walked over, but was stopped by Ding Yu Chen. "I will kill you." The purple-clothed man roared and was about to rush over, but Little Light suddenly appeared. No one knew when he arrived here, exactly why he appeared here. Then, his body released a surge of force, forcing the purple-clothed man and Chen Shang back into the 2 walls of the passageway. "Is that all?" Little Light's expression was serious as he asked. Xiao Guang was the person in charge here. He naturally knew the purple-robed man very well. He was one of the few people that was able to refine Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. He did not know much about Chen Shang, because Chen Shang had just arrived. "He attacked me first." Chen Shang scoffed, then explained the situation to her. "This guy didn't say anything about hitting me, but he's still very arrogant, so I hit him." The purple-clothed man was extremely angry. He had received a fierce slap in public, so many people would definitely laugh at him in his heart. This kind of feeling made him go mad. "Both of you are at fault. First of all, you. Right, what's your name?" Xiao Guang did not know Chen Zhang's name, and Chen Shang had not mentioned it before. Chen Shang said. Little Light furrowed his brows, his mouth constantly chanting these two words, Chen Shang. Chen Shang, what a familiar name, could it be? Was it Chen Shang who entered the heavenly alchemy stone wall back then? Quote. That's right. Chen Shang revealed his true appearance, and said, I never thought that in the past, there would still be someone who would recognize me. Many of the people here were old fellows, and their memories of what happened back then were still fresh in their minds. Back when Chen Shang had entered the heavenly alchemy stone wall, the few powerful ancestors had all been beaten up by him. Regarding Chen Shang, some people knew a lot about him. I heard that Chen Zhang's body fused with the heavenly alchemy soul, and his pill refining skills are also extremely high. An old man said. Back then, when Chen Shang released a large number of dragon magic danes from the flying dragon pagoda, he was still very famous. The purple-clothed man sneered, so what? Back then, is it possible for him to refine heaven and earth infinite dan? Quote. Of course I can refine it. Chen Shang laughed blandly. Furthermore, I have never talked about refining a heaven and earth infinite dan. There is nothing to brag about. I shouldn't be so complacent that I bite people like a dog. Chapter 2948. At this time, the purple-clothed man also knew that Chen Shang had just come in. He had only come in not too long ago, and had already learned how to refine heaven and earth infinite dan. Anybody can say it, why don't you refine a batch for me to see? The purple-clothed man sneered, don't boast. If you want me to refine it, then I will refine it. Chen Shang curled his lips, of course, I will refine a cauldron. After all, learning how to refine heaven and earth infinite dan will give you a reward of 1 trillion Dao crystal. Chen Shang looked at Little Light nodded his head and said, if you can really refine them, then you can start refining now. Xiao Guang understood Chen Shang quite well. Back then everyone wanted to know what my heavenly alchemy stone wall was hiding, but after 10,000 years, everyone forgot about it. Now that they see Chen Shang here, that kind of curiosity surfaced in their hearts. Alright, I'll start forging now. Chen Shang said, I don't have any more medicinal ingredients. Can you give me one? Quote. These were all divine medicine that could outshine the world. It would take a while for the Mei Jing sisters to grow them, since Little Light had a lot of these medicine anyway, so he decided to shamelessly ask for them. Xiao Guang gave Chen Shang a set of medicinal ingredients. Chen Shang came to an empty place and took out his Tianchuang furnace. Looking at the purple-clothed man who had an unhappy face, he laughed, do you want us to compete to see who can refine the fastest and best? So what if we want to compete? Are we afraid of you? If you lose, you have to give me 3 heaven and earth infinite dan and then give me 3 slaps. The purple-clothed man had a lot of confidence in himself. For someone as arrogant as him, he wouldn't be arrogant if he didn't have confidence in himself. Okay, if you lose, you have to give me 3 heaven and earth infinite dan, and then give me 3 slaps. Chen Shang said. He had not come to this gamble for a very long time, so he was very interested in this. Little Light shook his head and could only watch from the side. This kind of thing was something that the two of them had agreed to, so he couldn't stop them. After both of them took out their pill furnaces, Little Light shouted, starting now, the time limit is 1 month. A person's status is determined by their overall quality. Quote. Chen Shang had previously learned from Ding Yuchen that refining a batch of heaven and earth infinite dan required a long time, and 1 month was considered very fast. From the start, the people around them all opened their eyes wide and concentrated. None of them could refine heaven and earth infinite dan, so they hoped to see what experiences or insights they could gain from this battle. When Chen Shang refined it, he used the world-defying God Fire and his unique method of blood refinement to refine it. The furnace that he had previously refined was completed in less than 10 days. And this was the second time that he was refining it. With his previous experience, he would be able to complete it faster than before. Refining such an arrogant profound core already took a long time, and currently, the surrounding alchemists all knew that, so they could only wait patiently after 1 or 2 months. Time passed by quickly, and in the blink of an eye, 8 days had gone by. Just today, Chen Shang suddenly shouted out, I'm done refining. Everyone was startled, thinking that Chen Shang was just joking, since it would be boring for them to wait here. However, looking at Chen Zhang's expression, he was not joking. Because Chen Shang had already opened the lid of the pill furnace. Chen Shang had really finished refining, and it had only been 8 days, and he had already refined the heaven and earth infinite Dan. The purple-clothed man did not dare believe it. This purple-clothed man had some background. Chen Shang had just found out that there were a lot of these kinds of families in Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Their overall strength was not bad, and they were also people that the big powers did not dare to provoke. The family that the purple-clothed man belonged to was called Yuan family. It had been developing in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum for a long time. The entire Yuan family was quite strong, and there were also quite a few good alchemists. His name was Yuan Guangxuan, and he had been learning alchemy since he was young. He had been studying for many years, and it was said that he was not the strongest young man in the Yuan family, and only because his father was respected in the Yuan family, he was able to obtain a large number of Dao crystals from the Yuan family. Yuan Guangxuan was very clear about the difficulty and time needed to refine heaven and earth infinite Dan. Yet Chen Shang in front of him was able to refine it within 8 days. This was something that he found hard to accept, so he still could not believe it. Little Light knew that Chen Shang had succeeded. The moment Chen Shang opened the lid of the pill furnace, he immediately felt the heaven and earth infinite Dan's aura. Little Light walked over and saw 3 high-quality heaven and earth infinite Dan-s. He could not help but exclaim in his heart. There were alchemists who could refine heaven and earth infinite Dan, and all the elders in the academy knew how to refine them, but they could at most refine 1 or 2 of them. Only Myriad Dao Dan God could refine 3 or 4 pills. This kind of astonishing strength shocked Little Light. Little Light, can you make a decision? There shouldn't be any problems with my heaven and earth infinite Dan. Chen Shang laughed. No problem, you really did produce 3 pills. Then, he took out a storage bag. There was a trillion Dao crystal inside. Anyone who could learn how to refine heaven and earth infinite Dan would receive a trillion Dao crystal. This was something that he had promised before. To be able to produce 3 pills in just 8 days was already unbelievable, but at this moment, everyone heard that Chen Shang could actually refine 3 pills. If he did not do so, they would not believe him. It was even more ridiculous for them. Yuan Guangxuan could not sit still. He never thought that Chen Zhang's strength was so terrifying. At this moment, he was sweating profusely. Is it not done? I'll come back when it's time, so you can slowly refine it first. Chen Shang looked at the person on the other side who was related, and then handed over the 3 heaven and earth infinite Dan he had refined to him. You should judge the overall quality. Little Light tested the quality of the elixirs. The total value was over 300,000. To the Grand Pride Zon pellet, this was considered extremely high quality. 1 pellet was worth over 100,000. One had to know that the quality of the pills sold in the pavilion was only about 80,000. Alright, then I'll go back and rest first. I'll come out again when it's time. When Chen Shang left, he sent a sound transmission to Ding Yuchen, asking him to follow her. Ding Yuchen immediately followed him. At this moment, he was very excited as he didn't expect that he would actually know a person that could refine heaven and earth infinite Dan. Although this person was young, he respected the elderly very much. He knew that he was going to lose. No matter what happened, he would lose. Chen Shang told Ding Yuchen about some of the key points of refining heaven and earth infinite Dan. This gave Ding Yuchen a great deal of inspiration, so he hurriedly returned to the secret room to refine heaven and earth infinite Dan. After around 20 days, Chen Shang arrived at the Great Hall. At this time, Yuan Guangxuan had not finished refining the pill, which showed how big of a gap there was between him and Chen Shang. In his heart, he also hated Chen Shang to the bone. Chapter 2949. Chen Zhang's talent in alchemy was indeed heaven-defying, not to mention an arrogant, short-sighted disciple like Yuan Guangxuan. Even Xiao Guang did not expect Chen Shang to be so powerful when refining heaven and earth infinite Dan. You lost. When Chen Shang saw Yuan Guangxuan taking out a decent quality heaven and earth infinite Dan from the pill furnace, he said with a disdainful tone, according to the agreement, you know you should do this, right? The corners of his eyes twitched, wishing that he could fight with Chen Shang for his life. However, he was still able to maintain a bit of rationality, and he knew that if he were to make a move here, the consequences would be dire. Give me 3 heaven and earth infinite Dan. If there are none, replace them with Dao crystal. 1 myriad Dao crystal, Chen Shang said. Since Yuan Guangxuan was able to refine heaven and earth infinite Dan, he himself still had some left over. He unwillingly took out 3 heaven and earth infinite Dan-s and gave them to Chen Shang. Although the quality is a bit worse than mine, it's still not bad. Chen Shang chuckled, and then kept the 3 pellets properly. Chen Shang, Don't push me too far. Don't think that you can be arrogant just because you refined heaven and earth infinite Dan better than me. Yuan Guangxuan said angrily. As for whether I can be arrogant or not, I don't know. All I know is that if I win against you, I can slap you 3 times. Chen Zhang's face was full of smiles. As a man, if you're willing to bet, you have to admit defeat. Yuan Guangxuan was only thinking about it. He was already very angry at Chen Shang, so he didn't want him to do it. Yuan Guangxuan did not feel like he and Chen Shang had any sort of blood contract, and furthermore, he gave Chen Shang 3 heaven and earth infinite Dan-s. He felt that he was pretty good, so it would be fine even if he did not give Chen Shang 3 slaps. Yuan Guangxuan would rather be lazy and be laughed at by others than be beaten up by Chen Shang. Hence, he immediately gathered his strength and charged towards a tunnel. However, just as he took 2 steps, his body was suddenly frozen. He didn't know what kind of power it was, but he felt like his body couldn't move at all. It was the power Chen Shang had released to imprison space, preventing him from moving. How manly. He's willing to admit defeat, and he's in such a hurry to beat me up, he's actually rushing over here. Chen Shang laughed, and with a stride, he had arrived at Yuan Guangxuan. A ball of extremely strong burning flame suddenly appeared in his hand, flickering with rays of fiery lightning. Are you ready? After Chen Shang finished speaking, he suddenly swung his palm that seemed to be filled with the power of thunder and fury. Boom! A very violent explosion that shook the entire hall, causing it to shake slightly. The people there were also shocked. The aura that Chen Shang released just now was extremely scorching, but it made their backs shiver. Not only was Chen Shang an incredible alchemist, his strength was also terrifying. They were even more certain that he had obtained a powerful inheritance from the heavenly alchemy stone wall, otherwise he wouldn't have been so terrifying. Yuan Guangxuan's face was covered up by Chen Zhang's slap. The flame and lightning that exploded out enveloped his head, and after the flame and lightning disappeared, Yuan Guangxuan's face no longer had the arrogance from before, because it had already become charred black like charcoal. Chen Shang, I must kill you. Although Chen Zhang's palm was scary, Yuan Guangxuan was not a pushover. He had already channeled his power onto his face to block it, but he still felt pain, and being humiliated by others was even more painful for him. Humph! Chen Shang let out a cold snort, and then heavily slapped Yuan Guangxuan's face again. This slap made the previous one even more powerful. It made Yuan Guangxuan's eyes shine with stars, and he spat out blood. At this moment, Yuan Guangxuan was speechless, but he was still conscious. Just as Chen Shang was about to give his 3rd slap, a middle-aged man came out of nowhere. Shuaner, what is he doing? The old man came out from a passage, which was the secret room entrance of the alchemist. Chen Shang immediately knew that this old man was definitely an old man from the Yuan family. Grandfather, quick hurry and save me. Yuan Guangxuan struggled to shout, quickly kill this bastard. When the Yuan clan elders saw that Little Light was also here, they immediately understood that this was most likely due to Little Light's approval. However, he still shouted in anger, stop. Chen Shang ignored the elder of the Yuan family and swung his hand down. You're courting death. The Yuan elder snorted angrily and anxiously rushed forward. At the same time, he released a formless energy, wanting to stop Chen Zhang's hand from falling down. However, Chen Shang immediately used his spatial energy to place him and Yuan Guangxuan in an independent space domain, so no amount of energy could enter his space. Therefore, he still slapped Yuan Guangxuan's face with his palm that contained a lot of power, and sent him flying. After the 3rd slap, Yuan Guangxuan's face was no longer the same. As he flew out, he coincidentally bumped into the Yuan family elder and was caught. What the hell is going on? The elders of the Yuan family were extremely angry, especially as they watched their own family's juniors being bullied. It is only natural and right to admit defeat if you are willing to gamble. Furthermore, this was something that he had found himself, and could not be blamed on others. If he had to blame someone, then blame himself. After Chen Shang finished speaking, without even turning his head back, he walked towards a passage, heading towards the Aodan pavilion. After Chen Shang left, Little Light walked over to explain what had just happened and told the Yuan family elders why he did not stop him. Chen Shang Pride Pill House mainly sold the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan-s. He had previously used so many Dao Crystal S here, he needed to earn them back. Moreover, he also needed to buy some medicinal herbs and learn to refine other pills, which would require a lot of Dao Crystal S in the future. Last time, the old man from the Aodan pavilion said that as long as he could refine a heaven and earth infinite Dan, he would be able to sell it here. Now that he had already refined it, he brought the heaven and earth infinite Dan with him and hurried over. Seeing Chen Shang bringing so many heaven and earth infinite Dan to sell, the old man was shocked. After confirming that the heaven and earth infinite Dan was correct, he bought them for 1 trillion each, because the quality of the 3 pellets was not bad, which was why he gave him an extra 500 myriad Dao crystals. The Mei Jing sisters inside the Yuyao mountain villa had already grown many s. Chen Shang did not need to buy any from there. After obtaining the 6 trillion Dao crystal, he ran back to the secret room excitedly and prepared to concoct the pill head-on. If he wanted to eat it, he would have to eat the crash method. Not only was the quality extremely high, it was also a pill from a spiritual god. Chen Shang returned to the secret room. Right now, he needed to rest, and then, he would use the crash method to refine heaven and earth infinite Dan, or perhaps find the time ghost. He rested for the entire day and was preparing to leave to find the time ghost, but at this time, someone suddenly and violently smashed his stone room's door, barging in. Chapter 2950. Chen Shang was extremely shocked. All of them were dressed in black, with masks on their face. Their profound spirit chi was concealed. He did not know who they were, but he knew their goal. They are all very strong. Just who are they? They are here to capture me. Chen Shang was about to teleport away, but he did not expect his body to suddenly feel weak, as though he had been poisoned. I've been poisoned. This caused Chen Shang to be extremely shocked. He was extremely confident in his ability to resist the poison, but now he was actually hit, and was unable to circulate his cultivation, causing him to be unable to use his spatial energy to escape. Stop struggling. A black-clothed man took out a web to trap Chen Shang, then dragged him away. Who are you? Why did you want to capture me? Chen Shang felt that it was impossible for it to have something to do with him dealing with Yuan Guangxuan. The vice principal wants to capture you. The main reason is because you cheated when competing with Yuan Guangxuan in pill refining. Not only did you lie to us, the Proud Pill Academy, to obtain our Dao crystal, but you also injured Yuan Guangxuan. So now, we want to capture you to receive punishment. When Chen Shang heard the black-clothed man's words, he could not help but be stunned. This was actually related to Yuan Guangxuan. How could the Yuan family be so powerful? They could actually get help from the vice principal of the Proud World Pill Academy. Very quickly, Chen Shang was brought to a pitch-black stone room. He saw the elder from the Yuan clan and another white-haired old man, whom he guessed to be the vice principal. Chen Shang, you cheated, causing everyone to think that Yuan Guangxuan had lost to you, allowing you to earn the rewards of our 1 myriad Dao crystal. You even had the chance to humiliate Yuan Guangxuan, and almost destroyed a good seedling like him. The vice principal sneered, do you know your crimes? Little Light saw it with his own eyes, and he also appraised the heaven and earth infinite Dan that I had refined. The quality is very good. Furthermore, my heaven and earth infinite Dan was also sold to the Aodan pavilion. After the Aodan pavilion's confirmation, they bought my heaven and earth infinite Dan. Chen Shang slowly said, fearless. You still dare to quibble? You must have cheated and the evidence is already conclusive. All those heaven and earth infinite Dan you refined are fake, they can only be passed on for the time being. Hand over the 6 trillion Dao crystal that you have sold. And, Guangxuan, come in, the vice principal said. Seeing Yuan Guangxuan come in, Chen Shang laughed coldly in his heart. Chen Shang, I said that I would definitely kill you, but this is definitely not now, ha ha eh. Yuan Guangxuan started laughing maniacally after he entered, and then quickly walked in front of Chen Shang and tried to slap his face. Little bastard, go die. Chen Shang became angry in his heart, and then let Long Chiumu, who was from the Yuyao mountain villa out. Long Chiumu already knew that Chen Shang had been captured. Her sudden appearance caused everyone to be extremely surprised, but by the time they had reacted, the black sword in Long Chiumu's hand had already pierced Yuan Guangxuan's body by thousands of times, and Yuan Guangxuan was already badly mutilated. Die! Long Chiumu shouted as she waved her sword to release a ball of white sword chi, slicing Yuan Guangxuan's body into 8 pieces. Then, her body trembled, and released a burst of cold air. It's the dragon magic poison. The vice principal shouted in shock, and after the few black-clothed men who just came heard it, they immediately stood in place motionlessly, only to see them releasing a barrier of chi, so that they would not be invaded by the dragon magic poison. Long Chiumu said to Chen Shang via sound transmission, you have been infected by a mutated dragon magic poison, do you know how to cure the poison? She had just finished speaking when her expression slightly changed. Then, she grabbed Chen Shang and rushed towards the stone door, escaping the stone room. Chen Shang immediately took out the dragon magic dan and swallowed it. He didn't dare to guarantee that this pill would be useful to him, but he could only try. Long Chiumu lowered his voice and said, "This damned place is truly terrifying, there's actually such a powerful dragon demon hidden here. I don't know if it's the world-defying stages, but that aura makes my heart tremble." Long Chiumu encountered many powerful Venerable Ancestor later stages in the passageway, but none of them were her opponent. She flew all the way while swinging her sword, injuring many people who came along the way. When Long Chiumu reached the end of the passage, a dense black chi suddenly appeared there. After the black chi appeared, it immediately gathered together and turned into a tall and sturdy middle-aged man. "Father." When Long Chiumu saw this middle-aged man, he was startled for a moment before frowning, "Don't stop me." Strictly speaking, Long Chiumu was raised by Supreme Dragon Demon Ancestral Founder. Long Chiumu was raised by the Dragon Devil Grandmother. She did not have much blood relation to the Dragon Devil Ancestral Founder in front of her, but after all, they had been together for a period of time, so they still had some feelings for each other. Long Chiumu had been saved a few times by Chen Shang, and it was even because of Chen Shang that she could become so strong now. If her father wanted to kill Chen Shang, she would definitely not agree. Even if she had to risk her life, she had to bring Chen Shang out. "Hurry up, don't ever come back here again," Dragon Demon Sovereign said in a deep voice. Hearing the Dragon Demon Lord's words, Long Chiumu's heart was filled with complex emotions. Shaking her lips, she rushed out of the tunnel while carrying Chen Shang. After rushing out, she turned around to look at the Dragon Demon Lord. "Don't worry about me, I'll leave you." At this time, the eyes of Dragon Demon Sovereign suddenly turned red. Black chi surged out from his body and a vicious aura surged out like that of a peerless demon. Long Chiumu had already passed through the Great Hall and burst open the stone door, bringing Chen Shang along with him as he rushed to the ground. Chen Shang had just eaten up a lot of dragon magic dan, so his current powerless and fatigued condition was already slightly better, but it was still not completely good. What kind of place is this? Chen Shang had already been taken away by Long Chiumu, and was now far away from the Primordial Pellet Academy. However, he could still sense that someone was chasing after him from behind. "I don't know, I must go back, my father is there, he seems to be under some sort of control," Long Chiumu said resolutely. She had to go save the Dragon Demon Sovereign. "I must go back and get even with those guys. They actually tricked me." Chen Shang bellowed, "Chu Mu, enter the Yuyao Mountain Villa and I will use the power of space to leave this place." After Long Chiumu entered the Yuyao Mountain Villa, Chen Shang, who had recovered a bit, immediately used teleportation, teleporting far away from the colorful forest's borders and arrived in the Divine Ghost Imperial Country's room. When Chen Shang came here, he had already exhausted all of his strength. He was extremely tired as he laid on the ground and slept soundly. When Time Ghost saw Chen Shang, he immediately shouted, "Hey, why are you sleeping the moment you arrived? Wake up." Quote. Chen Shang was infected with the dragon magic poison, and it was even modified, so he slept for a whole 10 days before the poison power weakened slightly, and then he continued to eat the dragon magic dan. He ate all the dragon magic dan that he had to recover to his full state. Is the myriad Dao Dan God really there? Chen Shang felt that he should go see that well-informed ghost and ask him about this. Chapter 2951. After Chen Shang woke up, the Time Ghost immediately shouted, "You rascal, why did you suddenly come to my place to sleep? What was going on? You scared me to death. I thought you were going to die here. You're in Time Ghost, and you're afraid you'll be scared to death. You're a scary person yourself." "Okay." Chen Shang said snappily. "Oh right, how's well-informed ghost doing recently? I want to visit him." Quote. "He's been bored lately, you can go find him." Time Ghost said. "Right, are you going to make a deal with me this time?" "Of course, but not now, I have to find well-informed ghost first." Chen Shang said. "I'll be going now, I'll be back soon." Chen Shang teleported to well-informed ghost's room. Seeing that Chen Shang had arrived, well-informed ghost was immediately overjoyed. "Big boss, you're finally here, hee hee." The well-informed ghost laughed. "You aren't just here to see me, right?" "Of course not, it's not like I can't see you." Chen Shang laughed. "I just want to ask something. I want to give you 200 billion Dao crystal." 200 billion was not a small amount, well-informed ghost immediately agreed. It had been a long time since he had earned so many Dao crystals and he was willing to pay the price. Have you heard about the myriad Dao Dan God? Chen Shang asked. I've heard that this person is very mysterious. I've only heard of him before, but I'm not sure about his origins. I only know that our Ghost Emperor is very afraid of him, and is always very respectful towards him. This myriad Dao Dan God has built something called an everlasting pellet academy in the colorful forest. The Time Ghost said. What about the Yuan family? Chen Shang asked again. The elders of the Yuan family wanted to capture him and even wanted to take revenge. Yuan family. This is a huge family, and one that is very close to the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. There are many outstanding alchemists in the Yuan family, and these alchemists all seem to come from the prideful Pill Academy. The well-informed ghost then continued, in short, the Yuan family is a huge family that is very close to the Flying Dragon Ghost Realm and the White Bones Imperial. The two of them are taking advantage of each other. It's actually this powerful. Chen Shang never thought that the Yuan family would have such a position. How much do you know about the Yuan family? The more useful it is. Chen Shang said, the Yuan family has pissed me off, I want to take revenge on them. This is not a wise move. After all, the Yuan family is very powerful. Without absolute power, you can't act rashly. Although he understood Chen Shang a lot, he knew that Chen Shang still had a certain level of strength. I know, that's why I'm here to ask you about it. I'm here to find out about the Yuan family. Chen Shang asked, is there anything else that's powerful in the Yuan family? Well-informed ghost thought for a moment, then said, I heard that the strongest person in the Yuan family already belongs to the world-defying stage. This was all because he obtained a half-crippled world-defying soul with the help of the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. Quote, Chen Shang had heard that the world-defying stage evil ancestor was everywhere to cultivate his strength, but he didn't think that a power like the Yuan family would be in his sights. This is not easy to deal with. Chen Shang sighed. Now, only by entering the world-defying stage would he be able to take care of the Yuan family. Not bad, not easy to deal with. Well-informed ghost replied, is there anything else you want to ask? Is your Ghost Emperor also a member of the world-defying stage? Chen Shang asked. Yes, this is all due to me obtaining a half-crippled world-defying soul. The well-informed ghost sighed, our Ghost Emperor's life is not so good now. After all, the half-crippled world-defying soul is someone else's, it's not something that he can get for nothing. He has to pay a certain price. I know that. Chen Shang could understand the feelings of the well-informed ghost. The Ghost Emperor was, after all, the strongest person in their hearts, but right now, he was being controlled. Chen Shang did not have a good impression of the Ghost Emperor, he had already sold them to the dragon demons. Well-informed ghost, how much do you know about the Primordial Pill Academy? For example, the vice principal of the Empyrean Pill Academy. Chen Shang said, do you know him? Of course I know that this vice principal is very famous. He claims to be the last disciple of the myriad Dao Dan God, and the only disciple of the myriad Dao Dan God as well. Of course I know that this vice principal is very famous, he claims to be the last disciple of the myriad Dao Dan God, and he is also the only disciple of the myriad Dao Dan God. Well-informed ghost said, this guy is not someone who is easy to deal with. He is very cunning, but on the surface, he looks very good. This guy is a bastard. Chen Shang coldly snorted, sooner or later, I will let him know the outcome of offending me, Chen Shang. Don't you dare spout nonsense like I'm hiding here. Quote, of course not, you are a big customer of mine and Time Ghosts. Furthermore, we have no interest in selling you out, so those guys never put us brats in their eyes. Well-informed ghost said, as long as they did not say anything, no one would know that Chen Shang was here. That's good, this 100 billion is for you, as long as I get stronger, I will earn even more Dao Crystal, and I will definitely not treat my partner unfairly. Chen Shang gave the well-informed ghost another 100 billion Dao Crystal. He felt that it was a great pity. If he could stay in the Ascendant Pill Academy, he might be able to earn even more. However, that place was already under the control of the vice principal. Oh right, Chen Shang, I heard one thing, I don't know if it's true or not. Well-informed ghost suddenly said, you might be more concerned about this matter. Tell me about it, Chen Shang said, I heard that the high priest has entered. Well-informed ghost's words shocked Chen Shang. Before the high priest had helped the world-defying dragon demon to break the seal, he should not have entered this myriad Dao mausoleum, but now he had. Is this true? Chen Shang did not dare believe it. If the high priest came in, then the world-defying dragon demon might have already broken the seal. I just heard that. I'm not sure if it's true, but I'll ask around. Come and ask me later. The well-informed ghost said. All right. Chen Shang had thought that he could quickly step into the world-defying stage and get rid of the high priest. When Chen Shang returned to Time Ghost's room, he thought to himself, don't worry, this well-informed ghost has only heard of it, and has not confirmed it yet. Previously, when world-defying stage dragon ancestor had counted, it was not easy for world-defying dragon demon to break the seal. However, he could not help but be worried. If the world-defying dragon demon came out, it would pose a huge threat to him. Chen Shang took a few deep breaths, then gave Time Ghost some Dao crystal. He wanted to buy some time, so that he could quickly refine a large number of Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan that were refined using the crash method. Chapter 2952. Chen Shang bought the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan for a year, then began to use the crash method to refine the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. Refining such a pill required time, especially the crash method. Chen Shang took 2 months just to refine one pellet of the 5 crash. However, the quality was extremely high. This kind of prideful mystical pill, after being refined with crash method, would not only double the quality but would also increase by hundreds, or even thousands of times. If he were to use an ordinary method to refine a 2-month-old Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan, the added quality would be far inferior to that of a 5 crash technique. The 5 crash technique is my limit. I might need around 100 pills to break through. When Chen Shang used the crash method to refine pills, not only could he improve the quality, he could also save on medicinal ingredients. Although Mei Jing sisters and Long Chiumu could grow it inside, it was a prideful medicine, and its cultivation speed wasn't that fast, so he needed to save a bit of medicinal ingredients. At that time, not only would he need to consume this pill, Long Chiumu would also need to eat it. If Long Chiumu could also enter the world-defying stage and cultivate her own world-defying soul, then her strength would definitely not be something that the powerhouses who use the half-crippled world-defying soul to break through would be able to compare to. For him, hiding inside his Yuyao Mountain villa was an extremely good backup plan. For example, when he was poisoned at the Aoshidan Academy, it was Long Chiumu who saved him. Otherwise, he wouldn't dare to imagine the consequences. While Chen Shang was refining the pellet, 5 years had unknowingly passed. He was only able to refine 6 pellets a year, and currently, he could only refine 30 of them. Fortunately, he was at Time Ghost's place. Adding the time spent there, it had only been a month outside. This speed is already very fast. Chen Shang had already completed quite a few of these, so he did not eat any of these pills. I've rested enough. I can start preparing now. The Time Ghost knew that Chen Shang was refining pills, but he did not know what pill Chen Shang was refining. As long as there was a Dao crystal, it would be fine. After Chen Shang passed the Dao crystal to the Time Ghost, he smiled and said, let's start now, I've been waiting very anxiously. Every time Time Ghost gave Chen Shang a year of time, he would have to rest for a few days. Let's begin now, the Time Ghost said. Chen Shang immediately felt the power of the time undulation, but at that moment, the room he was in suddenly trembled. He was alarmed. What's going on? He did not have a good impression of the Ghost Emperor, and it seemed like the Ghost Emperor and the Dragon Demon had cooperated together. Now, it was the world-defying stage, and this was all because of the half-crippled world-defying soul of the world-defying stage evil ancestor. That was why Chen Shang was extremely vigilant of the Ghost Emperor. Now that he had sensed the Ghost Emperor's aura, he was secretly alarmed and immediately asked the Time Ghost, did the Ghost Emperor come? I will leave this place now. Quote. Chen Shang. Time Ghost's scream suddenly echoed in Chen Zhang's mind, causing him to be shocked. Time Ghost seemed to be suffering a torture. Time Ghost, what's wrong? Where are you and what can I do to save you? Chen Shang asked anxiously. He had frequently done business with the Time Ghost, and after such a long time, he had gradually begun to view the Time Ghost as his friend. I'm dead for sure, you can't save me, the Ghost Emperor is attacking me, he wants to swallow me. The voice of the Time Ghost was filled with sorrow. This is my time in Dao Vein, make good use of it. Goodbye. When Chen Shang was in the Time Ghost's room, he suddenly saw a light white-colored thread. He hurriedly grabbed it and placed it inside the Divine Sense Sea to fuse it. Time Ghost, how are you? Chen Shang didn't dare believe that the Time Ghost who was happily chatting with him would encounter such an accident in the blink of an eye, and it was all done by the Ghost Emperor. The time ghost didn't answer Chen Shang, but Chen Shang could feel a dangerous aura slowly approaching. It was the Ghost Emperor's approach. Ghost Emperor, just you wait. Chen Shang used his spatial energy and teleported out of Time Ghost's room. At this moment, he felt grief and fury in his heart. The time he spent with Time Ghost was pretty good, he had accompanied him for many years and yet he was killed right now. Chen Shang came to the well-informed ghost with grief and anger. The only one who knew that he was very close to Time Ghost was only the well-informed ghost. Well-informed ghost, get out here right now. Chen Shang roared. What's wrong? Well-informed ghost immediately asked. Oh right, there was a big commotion just now, what happened? Well-informed ghost was also confused. Something was definitely wrong before, but seeing how furious Chen Shang was, he became even more suspicious. The Time Ghost is dead. He was killed by the Ghost Emperor. Chen Shang asked coldly, his killing intent was overflowing, he controlled his own chi to not leak out, he was worried that he would attract the Ghost Emperor's attention. He was still not the Ghost Emperor's match, the Ghost Emperor was the world-defying stage's opponent, but he firmly believed that he could step into the world-defying stage. At that time, any Ghost Emperor would just be trash in his eyes. Time Ghost. Dead. Well-informed Ghost's voice trembled. From the sound of his anger and sorrow, it could be seen that his relationship with Time Ghost was very good. Yes, he was killed by the Ghost Emperor. Chen Zhang's tone had softened quite a bit. After all, he had also seen how sad the well-informed ghost was. Ghost Emperor. Well-informed ghost growled in anger, this bastard, how dare he be so cruel to his own subordinates? Didn't you inform him? Chen Shang did not dispel the notion of suspecting well-informed ghost because of this. How is this possible? My relationship with Time Ghost is so close, how can I harm him? It's definitely not from me, I can swear on my blood. The well-informed ghost said. Chen Shang was currently in the well-informed ghost's stone room. It was originally dark in here, but suddenly it became bright, and Chen Shang saw a pale old man with slightly red eyes appearing, he was well-informed ghost. In order to make Chen Shang believe it, well-informed ghost had indeed given him a very venomous blood oath. Then why did the Ghost Emperor attack the Time Ghost? Could it be that the Ghost Emperor knew about the matter between Time Ghost and me? How did he know? Chen Shang could not understand. The Ghost Emperor does not know about the matter between you and the Time Ghost. Although this is the Divine Ghost Imperial country, but we have our own private space, the Ghost Emperor definitely does not know about it. Otherwise, if he knew you had run away, he would have sent people to hunt you down. Although his hair was white, his face was the same as a middle-aged man's. He did not look old, but his complexion was terrifyingly pale. What's the reason? Chen Shang thought about it, but still couldn't understand. Isn't that obvious? If the Spirit Emperor wants the power of the Time Ghost, then it is the power of law that controls the flow of time. Well-informed Ghost's voice was cold and low, although we don't have any powerful strength, our ability is very special and powerful. Time Ghost's ability to control the flow of time is something that many people are jealous of. Chapter 2953. Chen Shang realized, so the Ghost Emperor wanted to possess the power of the Time Ghost. Now he suddenly understood why the Time Ghost gave him the Time Dao veins before his death. It was because he did not want the Ghost Emperor to obtain it. At this time, the Ghost Emperor had already killed the Time Ghost, but he gave the most important Time and Dao vein to Chen Shang, so the Ghost Emperor did not obtain anything. This is bad. If the Ghost Emperor obtains the Time Rule Dao line, he can get stronger and stronger in a short time, and we will never be able to catch up to him, damn it. Well-informed Ghost punched the wall, then closed his eyes. A moment later, he opened his eyes and took a deep breath. I just heard that the Ghost Emperor gave an order just now that the Time Ghost violated the rules of the Divine Ghost Imperial country and was executed by him. As for the rule, the Ghost Emperor didn't explain. Now everyone knows. Quote, the Ghost Emperor is such a bastard, I knew that he would only become more and more of a bastard. He followed the wrong person. The well-informed Ghost said angrily, with the current situation, it is impossible for us to avenge the Time Ghost. He has already obtained the Time Ghost's Dao vein. Before the Time Ghost died, he gave me his Dao vein. Chen Shang sighed. Although he had obtained this extremely precious Dao vein, he was not happy, because he had lost a friend, and the Dao vein was left behind by that friend. After the well-informed Ghost heard this, he anxiously said, as long as it is not in the hands of the Ghost Emperor, it is fine. You must make good use of the Time Ghost's Dao veins and avenge the Time Ghost. While Chen Shang was refining the pellets, well-informed Ghost already knew about the matter of Chen Shang at the Primordial Pellet Academy, so he knew that Chen Shang had a lot of potential. Although I have the Tao Meridian in time, it won't be that easy for me to utilize the laws of time. Chen Shang said. He was unable to use the time laws for a short period of time. Fortunately, he had cultivated the myriad Tao divine arts, so the divine arts contained the techniques to utilize the laws of time. He still needed some time to familiarize himself with how to use them. As long as the time is not in the hands of the Spirit Emperor, then there is no need to worry about him leveling up too quickly. Right now, he has already merged with the half of the world-defying stage evil ancestor's primordial spirit. He will be dispatched by the world-defying stage evil ancestor within a short period of time and will be restricted for a limited period of time. Well-informed Ghost was very clear about this kind of thing. Previously, there were only a few people who heard of the world-defying stage, but ever since the few big shots of the S stepped in, this news had slowly spread and more people knew about it. Is this true? Those fellows who have obtained half of a prideful soul, are unable to improve any further for a short period of time. Chen Shang did not know about this. It must be true. They want to help the world-defying stage evil ancestor escape. Not just in a short period of time, they will be unable to escape the control that the world-defying stage evil ancestor has over them. The well-informed Ghost said. At this moment, he and Chen Shang suppressed the grief and anger in their hearts and discussed on how they could eliminate the Ghost Emperor and take revenge for the Time Ghost. Now that the Divine Ghost Imperial country is not safe, in which place is safer? Chen Shang asked. I need to find a safe place to cultivate. I need to first learn how to control the time laws, which will allow me to have more time, and help me break through in a short time. If you want to go to a safe place, let me think. Well-informed Ghost frowned as he thought about it. After a while, he said, if you want to be safe, you can only go to the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum S inside the Myriad Tao Mausoleum S. There won't be much danger inside, but for those fellows in the world-defying stage S, it's very scary. World-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. This was the first time Chen Shang found out about such a terrifying place in the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. I just got the news too. I can already confirm that the people of world-defying stage do not dare to enter, and I don't know the reason why, but as long as the world-defying stage gets closer, he will crazily devour energy. As long as we enter for an hour, the power of the world-defying stage's world-defying soul will immediately be devoured. Quote. So terrifying. Chen Shang suddenly felt that this place was extremely dangerous for him, because he had to enter the world-defying stage. Indeed, I will tell you the location. You can go in by yourself. Of course, if you want to charge into the world-defying stage S, you cannot do so inside. Well-informed Ghost warned him, if you want to rush into world-defying stage, you have to come out immediately. Chen Shang nodded his head, I'll go in and learn how to control the power of time. I'll come out when I learn it, I won't be able to break through inside. Chen Shang wished that he had just stepped into world-defying stage and his cultivation had regressed. Just thinking about it made him feel like this was a nightmare. Well-informed Ghost told Chen Shang the location of the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. Will it be dangerous for you to stay here? Said. Well-informed Ghost was currently by his side. This should be possible, because the Ghost Emperor did not obtain the Tao veins of the Time Ghost, he will definitely think of a way to snatch the abilities of others. The well-informed Ghost said. Chen Shang gave the well-informed Ghost a piece of communication jade symbol paper and said, as long as we reach a certain distance, we can send a message. If you are in the colorful forest, and I am in the colorful forest, I should be able to send a message. Alright, well-informed Ghost took the communication jade symbol paper and kept it. After Chen Shang bid farewell to well-informed Ghost, he immediately left for world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. I can't believe we have to pass through the Dead Land. This place is quite mysterious, I'll go take a look, and see if we can meet the soul of the Dragon Patriarch and ask him about some matters. Chen Shang quickly arrived at the Dead Land and teleported to the underground stone room where the world-defying stage Dragon Ancestor Soul Division was hidden. Dragon Ancestor. Chen Shang was very happy to see that the world-defying stage Dragon Ancestor was still here. Brat, you're here again. The world-defying stage Dragon Ancestor's Soul Division was rather boring here, he was very happy to see Chen Shang. Dragon Ancestor, you want me to go find Myriad Tao Dan God? I didn't see this guy. When I get to his territory, I would almost die inside. Chen Shang said. What's going on? Quickly tell me. Hearing that, The world-defying stage dragon ancestor frowned and asked. Chen Shang told world-defying stage dragon ancestor about his encounters at the Prideful Pill Academy. After world-defying stage dragon ancestor heard about it, he was a little angry. Looks like Myriad Dao Dan God is in closed-door cultivation. His people can do whatever they want. Don't worry, if Myriad Dao Dan God comes out and finds out about this, he wouldn't need you to do anything, he would clean up his own house. World-defying stage dragon ancestor said, of course, if you have the ability, you can go and kill those bastards right now. It seemed that the relationship between world-defying stage dragon ancestor and the Myriad Dao divine pellet was pretty good, so after knowing that Myriad Dao Dan God's subordinates were working with the dragon demon, the world-defying stage dragon ancestor was very angry. Dragon ancestor, do you know of world-defying stage divine mausoleum? Chen Shang asked again. He wanted to confirm if what well-informed ghost said was true. Of course I know. How do you know this place? I didn't tell you. World-defying stage dragon ancestor was shocked. Chapter 2954. Chen Shang felt a lot more at ease. Indeed, there was such a place, just that he did not know if it was the same as well-informed ghosts. A friend told me. This friend of mine is very well-informed. Chen Shang felt that the well-informed ghost must have a very special ability to know a lot of things. He didn't know what this ability of the well-informed ghost was either. Although the Myriad Dao Mausoleum was built by the world-defying stage Dao ancestor A, but before the Myriad Dao Mausoleum was built, there was already a world-defying stage divine mausoleum here. That's why the world-defying stage Dao ancestor named this place Myriad Dao Mausoleum. World-defying stage dragon ancestor said, world-defying stage divine mausoleum is extremely dangerous, however, this is only for world-defying stage like us. You are currently just a venerable ancestor later stage, so there is no problem entering it. Furthermore, you can avoid being attacked by world-defying stage. Quote. This was exactly as well-informed ghost said. However, you must not break through inside. Once you step into the world-defying stage, the world-defying soul that you just formed will instantly return to the state of the venerable ancestor later stage. The world-defying stage dragon ancestor said. Have you confirmed such a thing? Chen Shang felt that this trash was unfathomable. I got hit by the world-defying dragon demon. When I fought the world-defying dragon demon back then, I accidentally entered it and was beaten back into the venerable ancestor later stage. This is absolutely true. The world-defying stage dragon ancestor said, it's a good thing that I was only at the primordial profound rank back then. The world-defying stage had 3 realms. The first realm was the profound ranking, and cultivating the primordial profound body would be the profound ranking, followed by the sacred ranking. This required cultivating the world-defying holy body, then the divine ranking, which was the final realm of the world-defying stage. Then, dragon ancestor, what is your cultivation level right now? Chen Shang asked. The world-defying dragon demon was only at the level of an ascendant, while I was at the early stage of the world-defying holy body, so I am much stronger than him, and he would be unable to break my seal for a while as well. World-defying stage dragon ancestor said, and world-defying stage Dao ancestor and world-defying stage evil ancestor are both at the peak of the world-defying holy body. None of them cultivated a divine body. Chen Shang had thought that world-defying stage Dao ancestor and world-defying stage evil ancestor had already reached the pinnacle of world-defying stage. It's easier said than done. My saint body has been in existence for many years, but it's already very difficult for me to reach the large success stage, much less reach the peak stage. As for his divine body, it's extremely difficult. It's hard to say whether or not we have a divine body. World-defying stage dragon ancestor said, so you must not break through inside the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. Inside is the world-defying stage's mausoleum. I will definitely remember. Chen Shang nodded. How is the situation in world-defying stage evil ancestor now? World-defying stage evil ancestor uses a lot of energy to nurture the forces outside. If you were not here, he would have succeeded in this move. If you can step into the world-defying stage and cultivate your own world-defying soul, you can definitely deal with those shrimp soldiers and crab generals that he has cultivated. The world-defying stage dragon ancestor said. As long as he cultivated world-defying soul, he would be able to step into the world-defying stage, and his strength would increase by many times. If he could cultivate an arrogant profound body, then it would be even scarier, to have the strength of a world-defying stage dragon ancestor. And with the various things that Chen Shang had on him, if he was able to cultivate an unrivaled profound body, Then it would definitely be extraordinary, perhaps even a lot stronger than the world-defying stage dragon ancestor. Dragon ancestor, do you have any way to help Senior Long Tengyun recover his cultivation? Chen Shang asked. He was very worried about this matter. If Long Tengyun were to continue like this, he would definitely be negative. Bring him to me after a while. Let me see if I can help him. World-defying stage dragon ancestor said, I will definitely do my best to help him, or even they even helped him to enter the world-defying stage, but that would only mean using the world-defying stage evil ancestors method. Quote, World-defying stage evil ancestors method was to provide a half-crippled prideful soul. This was indeed a quick method. I wonder what the leaders of those evil forces are doing now. They are already part of the world-defying stage. Chen Shang said. He should be thinking of a way to help the world-defying dragon demon break the seal, and then have the world-defying dragon demon come in here to suppress me. World-defying stage dragon ancestor said, or maybe they, who just entered the world-defying stage, came in together. At present, there is a rumor saying that the world-defying dragon demon had broken the seal because the high priest had already entered. Chen Shang had also asked well-informed Ghost before. He was not sure if the world-defying dragon demon would really be able to break the seal. If the world-defying dragon demon could break through the seal, they would have definitely entered here to recuperate immediately, because there is a large amount of evil spirit force inside. Once he comes in, there will definitely be a lot of commotion. It's impossible that there will only be rumors. World-defying stage dragon ancestor said, when the high priest comes in, I think it's because he has an important mission and must enter. That is to say, it is only a matter of time before the world-defying dragon demon will be able to break the seal. The high priest has already completed all the work of breaking the seal, and after a period of time, the seal will be lifted. World-defying stage dragon ancestor frowned, because this was not a good news. Seeing the world-defying stage dragon ancestor's serious expression, Chen Shang also felt depressed. If the world-defying dragon demon came in, the situation would get worse. Dragon ancestor, I will first go to world-defying stage divine mausoleum for a period of seclusion. I need to refine some pills, it is the safest place inside. Chen Shang said. You go first. The world-defying stage dragon ancestor nodded. After Chen Shang passed through the dead land, he saw a purple grassland. All the grass here was purple, and it just so happened to be night now. Chen Shang looked towards the direction where the purple grass was swaying in the gentle breeze. It was extremely beautiful, causing Chen Shang to be able to see her beauty. After passing through the dead land, I actually came to such a good place. I thought that only the colorful forest would be more beautiful, I never thought that this place would not be bad. Chen Shang entered the purple grassland, and at this moment, he landed on the ground. He smelt a burst of fragrance, and that faint, delicate fragrance immediately made him absent-minded, and that fragrance was extremely refreshing, causing him to be instantly enchanted. Just as he wanted to inhale a few mouthfuls, he was abruptly jolted awake and hastily released the power of space, isolating himself from the purple plains. It's too scary, I almost got hypnotized. Chen Shang was unable to describe the feeling of danger he had felt just now. Although it was dangerous, he enjoyed the feeling of sinking into it. Remembering the danger he was in just now, he couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. What was terrifying was that when he entered, he still wanted to take a deep breath of that fragrance. This was actually a very strong need from the depths of his heart. Chapter 2955. Chen Shang had a bad feeling and couldn't help but want to take a few breaths of that wonderful fragrance. He knew very well that if he were to continue inhaling the fragrance, there would definitely be a huge problem, and this definitely wouldn't be a good thing. That's the only way. Chen Shang could not endure it any longer. He waved his hand and an invisible air whirl came out from his palm and struck the beautiful purple flower on the ground. The cyclone fell to the ground and in an instant, the purple flowers turned to ash. What he released just now was the world-defying God Fire. The world-defying God Fire is invisible and colorless, it does not even have a temperature, but it possesses a very strong burning power. At this moment, the purple flowers below are already being burned by the spreading world-defying God Fire. Quote, although he could not see the world-defying God Fire, he could see those flowers being burned to ashes. As Chen Shang watched these flowers turn into ashes in the air, the strong addiction in his heart gradually disappeared. After a while, all the purple flowers were gone, turned into ashes. This is much better. Chen Shang exhaled a breath of air, then continued to fly forward. At this moment, he was extremely cautious. Not only did he use the counter power to make himself invisible, he even used the power of space to protect himself. He did not want himself to come into contact with this space, in case he encountered a situation like the one before. Not long after he started flying, he saw the purple flowers that he had burned growing at an extremely fast speed. When he saw it, he could not help but be shocked. Damn it. Chen Shang didn't know why, but when he saw these flowers, he couldn't help but feel a sense of addiction. He really wanted to remove his spatial barrier and take a deep breath to smell that fragrance. Right, distract yourself. Chen Shang immediately told this matter to the 3 women inside the Yuyao Mountain Villa, telling them to think of a countermeasure. At the same time, he also chatted with them, trying to distract their attention. After Long Qiumu heard about it, he frowned. I seem to have heard about the things you've encountered. What flower is this? Is there any way to deal with it? I feel like I can't help it. Chen Shang anxiously thought of Wendong. He felt that if he continued like this, he would definitely become immersed in it. These purple flowers seem to be called self-actualization wonderful flowers. Long Qiumu said, it can be considered a type of poisonous flower. As long as you inhale the fragrance of this flower, it will be extremely dangerous. As long as you do not absorb the fragrance of this flower, your body will feel very uncomfortable or even weak. After Chen Shang heard it, he broke out in a cold sweat. This was actually a type of poisonous flower, and it was extremely strange. It was a direct poison to the human psyche. Even if we set fire to it, it won't be able to burn it. Chen Shang closed his eyes, not allowing himself to look at the purple poison flowers below, if not he would definitely be unable to control himself. After closing his eyes, he had only released a spatial perception domain to pay attention to his surroundings, and then he could chat with Mei Jing's sisters Long Qiumu. This way, he could distract his attention and not keep thinking about the comfort and beauty brought by that fragrance. Chen Shang did not smoke too much, and his perseverance was not bad either. He was able to get rid of that strong addiction in time, if not he would not be like this. 2 days later, he suddenly stopped because his spatial domain had sensed something here. When he opened his eyes, he could not believe that there was someone up ahead. He couldn't see what the man looked like, but he could see that he was wearing a purple robe and had long hair. A woman. Chen Shang could not help but become curious. At this moment, he was already invisible. He felt that the other party would definitely not be able to see him, and then he slowly approached him. When he got near, that person suddenly turned his head. Chen Shang was immediately shocked. He saw that the person's face was actually a snow-white skull, so he could not confirm if it was male or female. In short, it was very scary just now. He can see me. Chen Shang was secretly shocked. This kind of white bone-like outfit made him feel like it was related to someone from the White Bones Imperial. Who are you? The white skeleton suddenly spoke. Although he was covered in bones, his hair was long and straight and black. His voice was that of a man and was quite pleasant to hear. Chen Shang never thought that the other party would actually be able to see him. What about you? Is it a human or a ghost? Chen Shang asked. He did not know how strong the other party was, but for the other party to be able to walk in this Wangwo flower sea, he was definitely not ordinary. If someone was not strong enough to wander around, they definitely would not be able to resist the temptation and would not be able to reach here. What do you think? Bai Ji said. Do I need to ask you if I know? Chen Shang said snappily, then forget it, continue pretending to be mysterious here, I'll continue walking. Chen Shang still had to go to World-Defying Stage Divine Mausoleum. You want to go to World-Defying Stage Divine Mausoleum? The white bone asked again. It should be around here, right? Chen Shang felt that this white bone definitely knew about the World-Defying Stage Divine Mausoleum. It's not far, but it's very dangerous inside now. There's nothing good for you if you go in, not like before. The white bone replied, look at the poisonous flowers around here, they've just grown up. These poisonous flowers don't seem to be of any use to you. Chen Shang said. Who said it was useless? With my current appearance, I am made up of these poisonous flowers. Although this kind of flower will not let me die, it will let me become like this. Fortunately, this flower has another benefit, which is that it will allow me to become stronger. At the same time, it will also allow me to live an extremely happy life every day. The white bone voice said. Chen Shang suddenly felt that it was very scary, because the addiction in his heart had appeared again. This fellow was obviously trying to seduce him. Do you want to try? The fragrance of these flowers is wonderful. If you take a sniff of them, you'll never forget the intoxicating smell and the beauty. The white bones continued to giggle, making Chen Zhang's hair stand on end. Not interested, Chen Shang held back and said. Come and try it. Bai Ji Yu laughed. Try your grandpa. Chen Shang summoned his heavenly alchemy emperor seal, using all his strength to fiercely suppress the white bones. Boom. The emperor seal descended from the sky like a giant mountain, plummeting to the ground fiercely, causing a very strong shock wave. What an annoying fellow. Chen Shang kept the heavenly alchemy emperor seal, and just as he was about to leave, he heard the white bones that were cackling loudly again. Can't we kill him? Chen Shang saw that the white skeleton had crawled out from the ground, completely fine. Chen Shang took out the heavenly magic sword. Just as he was about to attack, he saw a streak of purple light in the night sky. What is this? When Chen Shang saw it, he also felt a wave of pressure. It was actually a very strong aura. As for that white bone, it was trembling uncontrollably from fright. It seemed as if it would break at any moment. He was actually very afraid of this fellow who had suddenly appeared. Chapter 2956. At this moment, Chen Shang also noticed that the purple-colored meteor was extremely dangerous. He wasn't sure if it was a person or not, but the aura it gave off made him feel as if he was facing an expert from the world-defying stage. The purple meteor crashed into the white skeleton, causing a burst of purple light to erupt and create a cool breeze. After the purple light disappeared, Chen Shang saw a tall lady dressed in tight purple robes holding onto a sword. The sword tip had already pierced through the white bone's head. The sword tip was leaking out purple energy into the white bone's body. This woman is so powerful. Chen Shang looked at her seriously. She was very gentle and her face was round. Although she was strong, her appearance did not give off a very overbearing feeling. The girl had a head of long black hair. She wore a purple skin-tight garment that would occasionally flash with a purple brilliance, giving her a very noble and mysterious appearance. After she injected a purple energy into the white bone, it instantly turned into a purple bone. We have to do this to deal with this kind of fellow. The lady seemed to be talking to Chen Shang. After she finished speaking, she lightly patted the purple bone with her jade palm, releasing a purple flash of light. The bone instantly dissipated the purple light. Chen Zhang's mouth twitched as he said, "You are from the world-defying stage, so wouldn't it be like pinching an ant to deal with this guy?" Chen Shang was still invisible now. He didn't know if the woman could discover him, but he thought it was weird that the woman wasn't affected by the strange flowers. Show yourself. I know you are here. The purple-clothed lady looked at Chen Shang, who was floating in midair, and said. Chen Shang appeared, but he did not remove the spatial barrier. He was afraid of the strange fragrance that would appear if he breathed it in. Thank you, big sis, for helping me get rid of that annoying fellow. I, your little brother, cannot thank you enough. Chen Shang immediately said with a mischievous smile. You're welcome. Exterminating this kind of fellow is originally my mission. The purple-dressed woman also felt that Chen Shang was special. His invisibility was truly powerful. She could only sense a faint qi, but she could not see him directly. If Chen Zhang's cultivation was higher, she would definitely not be able to sense Chen Shang. Furthermore, she knew that Chen Shang was wrapped in an extremely strong force of spatial energy and was separated from the space she was in. Big sis, are the flowers here not affecting you? I'm very afraid of those weird flowers. Chen Shang said in a strange voice. Look, these flowers have grown out. Although this place had been scarred from the battle just now, after the purple flowers grew, they released a beautiful purple brilliance, causing the place to once again become beautiful. This flower was planted by us. Of course I don't care. As long as you have impure hearts, you can smell the fragrance of this flower and feel all sorts of desires. His hopes would be magnified endlessly. On the other hand, the fragrance released by the Wangwo flower could give people a strong sense of satisfaction, making them fall into an illusion to satisfy their intense desire. I can't extricate myself from it. The purple-clothed woman looked at Chen Shang with a disdainful gaze, because Chen Shang would fall for this flower. Chen Shang secretly cursed in his heart. He admitted that he was not some kind of pure person, but he was always able to help to restrain those impure thoughts. If you stay here long enough, you will become that kind of a skeleton. You'd better hurry up and leave. The purple-dressed woman persuaded. Aren't I fine now? I want to look inside. I'm curious about this place. Chen Shang did not plan to retreat, and asked, the world-defying stage divine mausoleum is located inside, right? This kind of Wangwo flower had just been planted, and it was produced by the girl's race. This race was too terrifying, to think that they could actually grow this kind of flower. After crossing the ocean of flowers, you will reach the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. Are you sure you want to go there? It's not as safe inside as it was before. The purple-dressed woman said, it might be more dangerous. Why? Chen Shang had heard about it from that bone before. I don't know. It was said by our clan's elders. The purple-clothed woman shook her head. Chen Shang guessed that the purple-dressed woman had cultivated the world-defying soul, but she had not been able to cultivate the arrogant profound body. Even so, she was already very strong. Big sister, are all the people in your clan very pure? Are they not affected by these Wangwo flower? Chen Shang was extremely curious about this matter. No, there are a lot of impure people in our clan, so they don't dare to come close to this place. The purple-clothed lady said, you will not be able to smell the fragrance here after you pass through the sea of flowers. Although you will not be affected by the Wangwo flower, but there are some very mysterious things around world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. Thank you for the reminder. Chen Shang laughed. I cannot enter the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, and the elders in the clan are also the same, so our understanding of each other is limited. The purple-dressed woman warned again, if you enter and encounter danger, it would be best for you to escape to this sea of flowers as soon as possible. If there are any other powerful ripples of energy, I will immediately sense that I will rush here in the shortest time possible. Alright, I understand. If I really meet with danger, I'll have to trouble sister then. Chen Shang liked the purple-dressed woman more and more. She was a good person indeed, kind and gentle. The purple-clothed lady smiled, you're welcome. Oh yeah, my name is Chen Shang, what's my name? Sun Lingxing. As she said that, she took out a piece of paper and wrote her name down for Chen Shang to see. Spirit Star A, when you appeared just now, you did look like a falling star. Chen Shang laughed. After Chen Shang and Sun Lingxing bid their farewell, they hurriedly left the field of flowers. He spent a few days to cross the sea of Wangwo flower and arrive at a forest. This was the region next to the Dead Land, and it was actually such a good environment. I wonder if there is anything as scary as the Wangwo flower here. Chen Shang was afraid of that thing. He didn't even dare to remove the spatial barrier. Sun Lingxing did not dare to enter this place, it must be because of his own cultivation in the world-defying stage, said, and Chen Shang had also mentioned to her about Sun Lingxing, this mysterious and powerful woman. It should be, she said that she and her clan's elders don't dare to enter. Chen Shang said as he slowly walked in the forest. Even though he was already invisible, he did not dare let his guard down, and was extremely vigilant. The only sound that could be heard was the chirping of birds. The environment was beautiful, and it did not seem like a dangerous place at all. Where exactly is the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum? Is this the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum? Chen Shang walked for the better part of a day, but he was still inside the forest. Just as he was full of complaints, he suddenly heard someone singing. The singing sounded like it belonged to an old man. Although the singing sounded loud and clear, Chen Shang felt that it was very strange. Chapter 2957. Chen Shang did not know what the old man was singing, but he was singing. There were no lyrics, and even though his voice was not bad, the song was very natural, but it was very weird. Who's singing? Chen Shang concentrated and discerned the direction the sound came from. He wanted to go and take a look. Even if there was something dangerous in the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, there definitely would not be any existence of the world-defying stage, as the cultivation in the world-defying stage would definitely fall back. Therefore, he had always been very at ease. After identifying the direction of the voice, Chen Shang immediately flew away. Soon, he arrived at that place. It was a large tree, and a black-clothed old man was currently singing in a clear voice. The old man's hair was a mess and he looked very messy, but his voice was loud and clear, his eyes were bright and full of life. His serious expression made him look very energetic, and there were no wrinkles on his face. When Chen Shang got closer, he did not feel the old man's qi, nor did he know how strong he was, but since he dared to chant loudly in such a place, he must not be weak. Chen Shang quietly waited at the side. After an hour, the old man finally finished singing. There seems to be someone nearby. The old man suddenly said to himself and looked around. Chen Shang felt that it was extremely strange. Ever since he entered this place, his concealing ability seemed to have decreased a lot. Senior, it's me. Chen Shang suddenly appeared and said. Who are you? The old man looked at Chen Shang and was surprised. You just came here. Chen Shang nodded. Yes. Senior, is this world-defying stage divine mausoleum? Quote. This place can be considered the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. No matter what, if they were to come here, their cultivation would definitely fall. The old man laughed. That's why we are currently very safe. Without the world-defying stage as threat, we can be very free and unfettered. After all, he was already very strong, and was at the peak of the Venerable Ancestor realm. Why did someone say it was dangerous when I came in? Chen Shang asked again. Sun Lingxing and that white bone had told him before. Did they tell you there was any danger? The old man chuckled. No. Chen Shang thought back to what Sun Lingxing had said before, and he was indeed unable to explain the danger inside. That's right. The reason they called themselves dangerous here was because they felt like they didn't get much out of coming here. Or maybe they are all from the world-defying stage. The elder laughed. Little guy, come here. I'll teach you how to sing. Chen Shang came here for an important matter. He did not have the leisure to do so. Senior, I have an important matter on me, so I'm very sorry. I can't sing with you anymore. Chen Shang scratched his head and said embarrassedly. That's right, a young and vigorous kid like you must not be like us, who are just waiting for death to come. Understanding could be seen on the elder's face as he nodded his head. Senior, you came in just to die. Why don't you cultivate properly and step into the world-defying stage? Chen Shang felt that this old man had a sense of superiority. It should not be difficult for him to step into the world-defying stage, and the Sun Lingxing he met before was a world-defying stage. This is a secret, the old man smiled. Oh right, what do you need to do here? I want to cultivate. Chen Shang came here to train and learn to control the time laws. Are we going to level up? The old man asked again. Chen Shang was extremely curious about the secret the old man just spoke of. It was very clear that the old man did not want to break through on purpose. In order to achieve this goal, he had to suppress his cultivation so that he could not achieve a breakthrough and obtain immense strength. Thinking of this, Chen Shang became even more curious. No, it's to cultivate some kind of ability. Of course, Chen Shang knew that he would not be able to enter the world-defying stage here, it would only be a waste of time. Fine, I'll tell you the secret. The old man suddenly said in a low voice. Many old guys like me have been waiting here for a long time, just to enter the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. This forest is called Primrose Forest, and is located in the middle of the forest. One day, world-defying stage divine mausoleum will open it, and then, we can go in, but not world-defying stage. The old man chuckled. Recently, there have been a lot of Ming world-defying stage divine mausoleum who have been guarding the tomb and are preparing to open it. What's behind world-defying stage divine mausoleum? The place Chen Shang was at was the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, and now there was another world-defying stage divine mausoleum here. It was like a mausoleum in a mausoleum, it was extremely mystical. I don't know, the old man said. In order to solve this mystery, I've been waiting here for many years. Chen Shang felt that this was a little mystical. Although the world-defying stage divine mausoleum was mysterious, mysteries were often accompanied by danger. Then I will wait for the world-defying stage divine mausoleum to open and cultivate at the same time. Chen Shang said, if we can make it in time, I will follow you in to take a look. Alright, this is my territory. Pick a tree and take a look at it. The old man pointed. Chen Shang felt that this old man was not bad and decided to stay here to cultivate. He picked a very big tree and built a hole in it. He had just made a hole in the tree when the old man ran in. Brat, what's your name? The old man asked. Chen Shang, what about you, senior? Tang Zongji. The old man laughed. I used to be very famous. Of course, Chen Shang didn't know this name. This kind of ancient ghost was one he didn't recognize at all. Have you heard of the world-defying stage Dao ancestor then? Chen Shang asked. Of course I have. He was the one who built this mysterious Myriad Dao mausoleum here, covering the entire world-defying stage divine mausoleum, but this guy can't come here. When I was guarding here, his Myriad Dao mausoleum wasn't completed yet. Tang Zongji said. Chen Zhang's heart trembled. This Tang Zongji was actually so ancient, he did not even finish constructing the Myriad Dao mausoleum and was just squatting here. They had actually guarded it for such a long time just to enter the world-defying stage divine mausoleum to take a look. Senior, how much do you know about world-defying stage Dao ancestor? Chen Shang asked again. It's a pretty good little fellow. He created many worlds himself, and when the worlds revolved, they multiplied and multiplied many creatures, but it's a pity that he still died in the hands of a big devil in the end. That guy called himself a world-defying stage evil ancestor or something. Tang Zongji said, that world-defying stage evil ancestor and world-defying stage Dao ancestor are twins, and their parents are said to be inside world-defying stage divine mausoleum. There's actually such a thing. Chen Shang was shocked yet again. He then looked in the direction of the world-defying stage divine mausoleum, that place causing him to feel even more mysterious, as if everything that he had experienced before came from this place. Chapter 2958. It seemed as if Tang Zongji hadn't boasted to anyone for a very long time. Right now, he wished he could bluster to Chen Shang until the sky turned dark. Later, he also knew that he had disturbed Chen Shang and thus, he hurriedly took his leave, allowing Chen Shang to cultivate properly. Chen Shang was not annoyed at all, he rather liked the little old man. Now that he heard Tang Zongji's chanting, he did not feel weird anymore. I must make use of this time to achieve my training goals. The purpose of Chen Zhang's training this time is to master the time laws well. As long as he can use the power of the time laws, he can control the flow of time and gain more time for himself. Quote, he had come into contact with the laws of time very early on, but he only knew a little about them. For example, before he used the god-murdering sword techniques, he knew that there was a little bit of the power of time inside. He had also met people who were born with the ability to use the time laws. In the past, as long as the world wasn't strong enough, the time of that world could be controlled through a formation. For example, and the other formation masters could set up a time array. But it would not work here. Here he had to control the time laws to reach a higher level, and that was not something anyone could do. If not, the Ghost Emperor would not go kill the time ghost to obtain the time Dao veins. I must make good use of the time and Dao channels of the time ghost. I must become stronger quickly and avenge him. Although Chen Shang knew nothing about controlling time, he possessed the myriad Dao divine arts, and he firmly believed that as long as he focused on learning and comprehending it, he would definitely be able to comprehend the technique that controlled time. Controlling time consumed a lot of energy, and Chen Shang only used 2 months of time to finally find a way, but he still could not completely master it. This was not bad at all. At the very least, he would be able to make some progress and have a direction. Every time Time Ghost collects so many Dao crystal, it's not without reason. Chen Shang had just successfully released the power of time to form a time domain that covered himself up. In addition, he also found that the combination of time and space worked better. For example, by isolating himself in a very small space, this space was created by him and completely isolated from other spaces. Then, when he uses the power of time, he will be affected too much by the power of space. If he was not isolated from the time and space of the myriad Dao mausoleum, when he released the power of time, he would be affected to a certain extent, causing the power of time that he released to weaken. Now, he also realized that the isolated space he had released also required a certain degree of isolation. If the isolation was not complete enough with the myriad Dao mausoleum, he would still be affected and the power of time would be weakened. The weakened power of time was also quite strong. Originally, he could have turned 2 hours into 10. However, after being affected, 2 hours could only be changed to 3 to 4 hours. This kind of influence was quite large. My goal now is to turn the time in here into a month. Chen Shang did not have the same level of power as the time ghost. Although he needed to rest for a few days to make the one-day time period into 1 year, it was still quite good. Now that Chen Shang had the time Dao veins, he was extremely sensitive to the changes in time. He could differentiate between the time in this space and the time outside. Very well, I can turn 1 hour into 20. Chen Shang felt that at this rate, he would be able to reach his target. Another month had passed, and now he had already reached his previous goal. He only needed to use the time laws in his own domain, and only 1 month inside and 1 day outside. This should be called the space-time domain. As time and space mixed together, Chen Shang couldn't help but think of the 6 realms time and space door. This was also a very mysterious thing. I've been in closed door cultivation for a long time. Go out and see my old friend who I just met. Chen Shang stretched his back. He also needed to go out and take a breather. Walking out of the tree hole, he saw Tang Zongji carving a stone with a small knife. Old Tang, Chen Shang shouted as he stood at the entrance of the tree. Little guy, you're finally out of seclusion. Seeing Chen Shang walking out, Tang Zongji anxiously laughed and shouted. If I'm not forced, I also don't want to be so bored. Chen Shang laughed bitterly, then walked over to Tang Zongji's side and looked at his carving. Tang Zongji had carved a dragon. Old Tang, what will the consequences be if the world-defying stage evil ancestor breaks the seal? What Chen Shang was worried about was that the natural law divine lord would harm natural law world. He desperately needed to protect him. If he broke the seal and the world-defying stage Dao ancestor is still alive, then they would clash often. Tang Zongji laughed. There are no consequences, even if the myriad Dao mausoleum is destroyed, nothing will happen here. For people like us who are not the world-defying stage, but are at the peak of the Venerable Ancestor later stage, this place is the safest place. Of course, it is not easy for other people to enter now, because of the barrier called Wangwo Flower Sea. Quote, the Sea of Wangwo Flower was very scary. Chen Shang had experienced it before. Now that he thought about it, he still had a trace of addiction in his heart, and wanted to take a breath of that fragrance to experience that wonderful feeling again. With that thought in mind, he suddenly trembled and then bit the tip of his tongue, completely waking up from the pain. Tang Zongji seemed to have noticed something as he frowned and asked anxiously, you smelled that poisonous scent? Chen Shang nodded immediately, yes. Old Tang, do you have any way to help me get rid of him? This is not a good thing, it's too scary. Quote, indeed. Tang Zongji nodded his head. There are many old fellows who have lived for 10,000 years who have already fallen into it, let alone a little brat like you. Do you really want to buy a way out of that? Chen Shang was a little disappointed. Certainly not in the past. That's why we have already concocted a pill that can cure the poison. Wait for me for a while, I will help you refine it, and at that time, you just need to eat it. Tang Zongji laughed. After eating it, even if you see the poisonous flower again, nothing will happen to you. Old Tang, you can concoct pills. Chen Shang was pleasantly surprised. I'm bored, so I might as well learn a bit of everything. I'm just not proficient at it. Tang Zongji laughed as he hurriedly headed towards his own tree hole to help Chen Shang refine the pellet. Just wait a few days. During this time, just help me pick up a few of those stones. I want to use them to carve. Chen Shang looked at the stones on the ground. All of them were collected by Tang Zongji and were very suitable for carving. Afterwards, he searched for such stones in the forest. There weren't many, only 1 or 2 that would appear occasionally. It's been 3 days, but I only found 5 pieces. Just as Chen Shang was about to go back and find Tang Zongji, he suddenly felt a very weak qi approaching. This qi was very familiar to him. Just when he had sensed the qi, a purple light suddenly enveloped him, and in that moment, Chen Shang was completely stunned. Chapter 2959. After Chen Shang was enveloped by the purple light, he only felt a large amount of rich fragrance assaulting him. The poisonous scent was very dense, otherwise it would not have turned into fog of light. Smelling such a dense amount of poisonous scent, Chen Shang only felt that it was a very scary thing. Even though his entire body was already feeling indescribably comfortable, in his heart, he knew that he was dead. Who is it? Chen Shang clenched his fists tightly, wanting to restrain the bizarre and wonderful sensation from entering his body, but he was unable to do so. At this moment, he had already sunk into it, and had lost all sense of the outside world. Chen Shang lied on the ground with her eyes closed. She was in a deep slumber under the peerless beauty of fantasy, and had lost all sense of life. A few men dressed in purple surrounded him. One of the purple-clothed men laughed. This fellow is quite powerful. He has a very strong power over space. It seems that this fellow has a very profound understanding of the use of space. That's right, if we had just given him a little more time, we would have missed. But we did succeed. We didn't give him any extra time, so we should capture him and let him talk about the secret methods to cultivate the power of space. A purple-clothed man carried Chen Shang on his shoulder and quickly left. After these people carried Chen Shang away, Tang Zongji slowly walked out of the tree trunk and said with furrowed brows, these bastards, they actually captured my new friend in my territory and are only bullying me because I'm by myself. Tang Zongji looked at the direction that the few purple-robed men disappeared in and said, they are quite strong. If I were to fight with them, I will only end up losing both of them, and I might even injure Chen Shang. It seems that I have to infiltrate into the Forget-Me divine race and save Chen Shang myself. Chen Shang, you don't have to worry. I can cure the poison for you, you have to hold on. After Tang Zongji finished speaking, he suddenly disappeared and headed towards the Forget-Me divine race. When Chen Shang woke up, it was already 10 days later. He looked around him, and saw a dark cave. There were arrays at the top of the cave and on the ground, and his hands were also tied up with a kind of grass. This grass released a faint fragrance, which, after smelling it, made Chen Shang very comfortable. It's a set of grass made from Wangwo flower. Chen Shang frowned. Looks like I'm already at the limits of my ability with poison. Just who is it that is ambushing me? I'm not done with you. Quote. Right now, he couldn't use any strength at all, and he could feel that his body was in a very poor condition. Although it was slowly recovering, the poison's effect on his body was very great, far surpassing his recovery speed. You're finally awake. You woke up pretty quickly. An old man suddenly walked over. This old man was dressed in purple. When Chen Shang saw the purple robes, he thought back to the familiar aura and suddenly thought of Sun Lingxing. Sun Lingxing's clothes were similar to the old man's, and his aura was also similar. Is it someone from Sun Lingxing's race? Chen Shang couldn't help but think about it. Sun Lingxing had a very strong race, and Sun Lingxing himself belonged to the world-defying stage. But only Sun Lingxing knew that he was going to the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, and now that he had been captured by the people from the Sun Lingxing clan, it was very clear that it had something to do with Sun Lingxing. And it was heavily poisoned. Why are you capturing me? I have never offended any of you. Chen Shang said, his eyes filled with the light of hatred. You don't have the right to ask this question, shut up. I ask, you answer. His tone was extremely tyrannical, causing Chen Shang to be even more enraged. He wanted to clench his fists, but he did not have the strength to do so. Do you grasp a cultivation method that uses the space laws? The purple-clothed old man asked with an ice-cold voice. Chen Shang did not answer. He now completely understood why the other party wanted to capture him, so it was because of the spatial laws. Deep in his heart, he did not believe that Sun Lingxing would do such a thing. I want to see Sun Lingxing. Chen Shang suddenly said. The old man in front of him was just a venerable ancestor later stage cultivator, while Sun Lingxing was from the world-defying stage. He must have a lot of power and influence. Are you randomly calling her by her name? After the purple-robed elder said this, a purple long whip suddenly appeared in his hand. The whip flickered with purple electric threads. He waved the whip towards Chen Shang and whipped him dozens of times, causing Chen Zhang's body to be covered in black whip scars. Although Chen Shang was in pain, he did not scream. He was unable to circulate his Tao energy right now, so he was naturally unable to resist. If he was not poisoned, his physical body and Tao energy would not be so weak right now, and the old man in front of him was definitely not his match. The other party had used extremely despicable methods to poison him, and only now did he allow himself to be slaughtered. He forcefully suppressed the fury in his heart, contemplating how he could escape. Did you capture me to use the space laws? Chen Shang asked. That's right. As long as you hand it over obediently, we will let you go to the Sea of Wangwo Flower. You can be happy to death there. The purple-clothed old man said. All right, I will hand over the cultivation technique to you, but I need you to promise me one condition first. Chen Shang said. If you want to meet the proud goddess, then it's absolutely impossible. The purple-robed elder seemed to know of some things, so he could not allow Chen Shang to meet Sun Lingxing at all. Chen Shang only just found out that Sun Lingxing had such a high status in the clan. He didn't think it was weird. Since Sun Lingxing was from the world-defying stage, the old man in front of him didn't want him to meet Sun Lingxing. Obviously, there was something fishy about it. I want to see someone. He's my friend, Chen Shang said. I want to confirm if he is still alive, because when I was captured, he was in the vicinity. An old man, the purple-clothed old man asked. His name is Tang Zongji, and you guys also took him away. Chen Shang was enraged in his heart as he coldly asked. No, on the other hand, it's because he came to save you and we caught him. You don't need to worry. Right now, he's fine, so we can arrange for you to meet him. The purple-clothed old man said. Okay, I want to see him now. Chen Shang did not know whether Tang Zongji had managed to refine a pill that could cure poisons or not. 3 days. After the purple-robed elder finished speaking, he took out a bottle and tossed it to Chen Shang. There's a Wangwo scent inside this bottle. You will erupt once every 2 hours, and as long as you smell a little bit, you will be fine. Chen Shang secretly clenched his teeth. If he lived his whole life like this, he felt that it would be better to die. He swore to himself that once he recovered his strength, he would repay his enemy tenfold. He opened the bottle cap and took a sniff of the poisonous scent. After 3 days, Chen Shang had recovered quite a bit, but he was still far from being able to reach his peak state. He knew that his body had already been ravaged by the Wangwo poison and it would be difficult to recover from it, unless he could completely cure this poison. Tang Zongji came, and when he saw Chen Shang, a glint flashed across his eyes. Chen Shang saw the look in his eyes, and was secretly happy in his heart. He knew that Tang Zongji definitely had that kind of antidote pill. Chapter 2960. Tang Zongji could not see Chen Shang alone, there were a few elders behind him, all of them were powerful, and there were a few middle-aged men guarding the door, they were all at the peak of the Venerable Ancestor later stage, so Tang Zongji himself was not able to handle them. Chen Shang, now that I have also been poisoned by the poison, I can only concoct one pill. You know how to use the power of space, so when the time comes, bring me with you to escape, you have to succeed. Tang Zongji sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang, and said, the pellet is in my Divine Sense Sea World, can you directly enter my Divine Sense Sea World to retrieve it? Fine, relax, don't resist my power of space. Chen Shang looked at the two old men behind Tang Zongji, and then suddenly extended out and grabbed onto Tang Zongji's two old hands, and shouted, Old Tang, are you all right? It's all my fault, I've harmed you. Quote. In that instant, Chen Zhang's spatial energy had already entered Tang Zongji's Divine Sense Sea World, and transferred the pellet in his Divine Sense Sea World to his own Yuyao Mountain Villa. At the same time, he also asked Tang Zongji to give him some medicinal pellets. Tang Zongji did not know what Chen Shang wanted the medicinal herbs for, but he still gave them to Chen Shang. After Chen Shang obtained the medicinal ingredients, he immediately instructed the Mei Jing sisters to speed up the planting. After he confirmed that Tang Zongji was fine, he was a little worried that they would kill him, so he said, I will not give you the cultivation technique in one go. If you kill my friends, you will not be able to obtain it. When that time comes, the power of your space force will be greatly reduced. Quote. All right. After the purple-clothed elderly man brought Tang Zongji away, he said to Chen Shang, now, you can give me the cultivation technique, right? Chen Shang took out a jade talisman and injected some of his cultivation technique before handing it over to the purple-clothed old man. After the purple-clothed elder saw this, he immediately became mad with joy. Although it was only a small portion, he felt that it was extremely useful, so he hurriedly left. Of course, Chen Shang would not give away the real technique manuals, they were just compiled by him at the last minute so they looked very similar to fake techniques. After the stone door of the cave closed, only Chen Shang himself was inside, there were still many experts guarding outside. Sijing, how soon will you be able to grow these medicinal herbs? Chen Shang asked anxiously. The fastest time is 5 days. Although they are all ascendant-level medicinal herbs, this kind of medicinal herb is very easy to grow. Patience, and so on. Zhang Sijing said. Chen Shang, do you need my help? Long Qiumu was already aware of this matter, and he was extremely anxious. There's no need for that right now. Chen Shang said, they are controlling that Wangwo poison, so it's best that you do not come out first, wait until I refine a large amount of detoxification pills, as long as we are not affected by the poison, they will not be our match. Chen Shang patiently waited for 5 days, but today, the purple-clothed elder had once again come to ask for his cultivation technique. Chen Shang had also given him a lot, this time. Just like the last time, they were all unreliable and were all fabricated by him. However, it seemed like it was true, and he could not find out if it was fake for a short period of time, so he really needed time right now. We've already planted 20, Zhang Sime said. All right, Chen Shang immediately ate the antidote gave him. After eating it, he quickly untied the Wangwo poison. After detoxifying himself, he recovered his strength very quickly and entered his own Divine Sense Sea World. He went inside the Yuyao Mountain Villa and released a time domain that enveloped the entire Yuyao Mountain Villa. This way, in a day outside, there would be a month's time. Although the consumption was huge, it was fortunate that he had a large number of Dao crystal that he could consume. He estimated that he would need 1 trillion Dao crystal, and that was something he could afford. As long as he could get a month's worth of time, he would definitely not lack medicinal herbs. Furthermore, he would also have a lot of antidote pills. These bastards, just you wait for my counterattack. Chen Shang had chatted with Sun Lingxing before, so he knew from Sun Lingxing that there were a lot of evil people in this clan. This pill can still be considered easy to refine, much easier than the Heaven and Earth Infinite Dan. Very quickly, Chen Shang was able to refine 1 furnace full of pills. Even with 5 pills, he only took 5 hours. His pill refining skills were much better than Tang Zongji's. Tang Zongji had only learned it because he was bored, and that was to pass the time. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed in Uyao Mountain Villa. At the speed of 10 pills per day, he had refined a total of 300 antidote pills. He came out of the Uyao Mountain Villa, and it had only been a day outside. He immediately released a heaven-devouring rat, made it very small, and then used the power of space to release the heaven-devouring rat. This heaven-devouring rat went out to investigate the situation outside, and then he entered the Six Realms time and space door to search for Tang Zongji. He quickly found Tang Zongji's Wheel of Fate and teleported to where Tang Zongji was. Tang Zongji was also locked up in a cave. After he arrived, Tang Zongji was shocked. He thought that Chen Shang would need some time to get here. He did not expect it to happen so quickly. Shish. Chen Shang gave Tang Zongji a few dozen poison cleansing pills and at the same time said, "I will send you out right now. I plan to start a massacre here." A massacre. This forget-me divine race is very strong, and they have 4 world-defying stages. Tang Zongji said. "Don't worry, I'm not afraid of them anymore." Chen Shang laughed. When Tang Zongji saw the dozens of antidote pills, he suddenly understood. "You used my medicinal herbs to grow a large amount of it before you forge it. This is way too fast." Quote. Because it had only been a few days, he did not believe that Chen Shang could be so fast. Tang Zongji was someone who was well informed, and he quickly thought of it. Other than controlling the laws of space, Chen Shang could also control the laws of time. He could control space and time. This was an extremely terrifying existence. He realized that he had still underestimated Chen Shang. "I'll send you off now." Using the power of space, Chen Shang teleported Tang Zongji to a very far place. He felt that he should be able to get Tang Zongji to the primordial forest. After sending Tang Zongji away, Chen Shang returned to his own cave. Now, he too felt a lot more at ease, and he also consumed a few antidote pills, filling his body with medicinal power at all times. This way, he wouldn't be poisoned even if he met a poisonous scent. He tried to smell the fragrance of the jade bottle a few times, but there was no longer that infatuated feeling. He only felt that it was just an ordinary fragrance. What are people gathered outside doing? The heaven-devouring rat that Chen Shang released saw a lot of purple-clothed people running towards a plaza, and very quickly, a lot of purple-clothed people gathered in the middle of the plaza. Chen Shang suddenly saw that the familiar faces were the purple-robed elder. The purple-robed elder's position was not low, and was actually standing on a high platform in the plaza.